Hey, Carl, how have you been? It's been a long time.
Mom? Is that you? What do you want?
Well, I can hardly say it's a dire emergency, but you haven't been in touch much lately, have you? I was just wondering how you were, that's all. Is everything all right? How's life?
It's good. No, it's great.
That's fantastic, son. I'm pleased to hear it. That reminds me. Mildred from down the street gave me a lift home today. She grows vegetables in the plot in the yard, and she gave me a bunch which she said were spares. There's much more that I could eat myself here. Shall I send you some?
Forget it. How many times I gotta tell you I don't need that kind of crap. I can go buy my own vegetables.
But the cost of living is skyrocketing these days. There's no shame in accepting a handout, you know. We have to save money where we can.
Save money? You probably can't say the same, but I don't have to do degrading poor people stuff like that anymore.
Degrading poor people stuff? That's no way to speak about anyone, son. I didn't raise you like this. There's nothing degrading or shameful about saving money. They're saying a recession is on the way, so we might all have to tighten our belts, whether we like it or not, before long. You're still young, so surely you can't have that much put aside in savings.
You've been like this ever since I was a kid, huh, Mom? You always seem to miss stuff that's staring you right in the face. Think about it, with the money I have to pay for delivery on those vegetables, I could probably buy more by myself.
Don't be silly. I'll cover shipping. I want you to save your money for a rainy day.
In that case, I'd rather you just keep your mouth shut up and send me cash instead. I don't want your freaking turnips. You're too dim to think of something that obvious, though. I guess you are poor, though. Poor people aren't exactly known for their intellect, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Carl, you might be able to put on this bold front because you have money now. But no one knows what tomorrow's going to bring. It's wise to have money set aside in the event of an emergency.
You do know I work for a major global company, don't you? We're more well-known than most A-list celebrities. I'm hardly struggling.
Surely you know better than to be that naive. Companies go bankrupt overnight all the time. The world is particularly unstable these days. Look at all the major companies that have disappeared into the pages of history, once household names, but now only a handful of people know they ever even existed. You might have money now, but what about next month? Next year? In 5 years? By saving up diligently, you can have your feet planted firmly enough on that ground that you won't fall over at the first gust of wind.
I hardly need you to tell me that, Mom. What am I, 12?
I hope you're taking care to eat right, too. A well-balanced diet is a foundation of a healthy lifestyle. Particularly in your case, let's face it, you've always been a fussy eater. I remember when you were a little boy and refused to eat anything other than pasta and cucumbers. You've always been prone to going off the rails with these things. I know it might seem like I'm nagging, but I worry about you, son.
I'm not a poverty-stricken loser like you, Mom, so I really don't need your advice. One thing's for sure, I live a damn sight more intelligently more than you do. If anything, you should be begging me to impart my wisdom on you.
Poverty-stricken loser?
You're hardly doing great, are you? You married Dad and quit your job to be a stay-at-home housewife, but then he cheated on you and kicked you out to move his lover in. You have the worst judgment of all time. You're hardly in any position to be giving advice. It's thanks to your awful judgment I had to endure being raised by a single mom. I had to spend my childhood in that worn-out, trashy apartment because of you.
Sure, I accept that we didn't live in the biggest of apartments back then, but it's not fair to pretend you spent your entire childhood there. You know I did what I could to give you everything you needed once you moved up to elementary school.
You have no idea how badly I wished I was born into a normal family with normal parents. Why did I have to be the one who grew up without a dad? Why did I have to be the one who felt like crap every time the conversation turned to family at school? Why did my mom have to be so different to all the other moms? Why did you have to be poor? All I ever wanted was answers. Why did it have to be me?
I'm sorry, son. I know you never had it as easy as the other kids. You went through so much.
No kidding. All my co-workers at this company have super rich parents. I'm the only one here who was raised by a broke single mom. It makes me feel so ashamed I haven't told anyone. I'm still suffering because you and Dad didn't have it together, even now.
I see. I had no idea. But Carl, I want you to know I raised you with nothing but your success and happiness in mind. Please don't forget that. Not ever. Not a day goes by where I don't think of you, even though we're apart.
I don't need to hear this crap. If you really love me, stop wasting my time and send me $10,000. Maybe if you do that, I might consider believing you.
$10,000? 10,000? Are you struggling with money, son? Are you in trouble?
I want a new car. Everyone else's parents buy them cars except mine. I did think of buying my own, but my money alone just isn't gonna cut it.
Carl, you live in the city center. Why do you need a car? Didn't you yourself say you're fine without one?
Things are different now I have a real job. What must my co-workers think of me? It'd be bad enough if they found out I was raised by a single mom. Can you imagine if they knew I didn't have a car? Everyone knows a man's social status is defined by his car.
I see. A car, huh?
It's not like I'm asking you to pay for it all, but can't you at least come up with $10K for me? All my co-workers and friends' parents buy them cars. All I'm asking for is a little help. How much longer can I go on telling the guys at the office my Ferrari's at the garage for repairs? The embarrassment is killing me.
I see. Okay, son. You're going to get your car. I'll come up with the money somehow or other.
Wow, really?
Yes, really. I just want you to know there's a chance I won't be able to contribute much to your wedding fund when you find a nice girl to settle down with one day. It's not like I'm doing this as a substitute, but my savings have their limits.
Who cares about that? I didn't expect anything anyway. I'll be way happier with a car.
I want you to promise me you'll take good care of it, and safe driving is a must.
Come on, Mom, duh, of course I will. I'm gonna look for one I like right now. Send me the money once I've made my mind up, okay, Mom? I'm counting on you.
Carl, will you be coming home for your birthday this year?
Even if I did, there's nothing for me to do there. It's so boring at your place. You live in the middle of nowhere. Whatever. I guess I can come if I'm not doing anything else.
I see. Okay. Look after yourself, sweetie. Don't do anything your old mother wouldn't do.
Mom, I got married.
What? You had a girlfriend?
Duh, you stupid. Of course I did. This is me we're talking about.
Right. Still, though, it's a surprise to hear you're tying the knot all of a sudden. I'm so pleased you found that special someone. Will you be moving in together? When's the wedding?
I told you, Mom, we already got married. Past tense, ya doofus.
Huh? You got married? As in you're married right now?
Yep.
So you already live together?
Jeez! Man, it's a miracle my IQ is as high as it is with a moron of a mom like you.
Carl, why on earth didn't you tell me about this before the wedding? This is important.
I don't remember having a duty to report everything that happens in my life to you. Who are you, the government?
No. Sure, of course you don't have to tell me everything. But I would have loved to know, and to meet your bride-to-be before you tied the knot. Besides, surely you dated for a while before you decided to pop the question. Couldn't you have introduced me to her then?
Forget it! I have no plans to let you meet her. Not now, not ever. It just so happens that I was thinking of breaking off all my ties with you today. Now, in fact.
What?
I can't carry on associating with poor people. I've moved up in the world, you know. The fact that your mom makes no difference. If your income's low, you gotta go. Not only do I work for a major global company, but my wife's family are crazy rich. Can you imagine how embarrassing it'd be for me if my broke mom showed up to one of their dinner parties?
Carl, please don't be like this. You know I'd make the effort to look the part.
Didn't I just make it obvious that that isn't the problem? Can you read? Then figure it out! People like that can smell poor people from a mile off. The fact I was raised by a single mom is bad enough on its own. If they actually saw you, their opinion of me would hit rock bottom in a heartbeat, and my life as I know it would pretty much be over. I have to stop my wife's parents finding out my family is poor at all costs.
Rather than that, didn't they think it was strange that the groom's parents were nowhere to be seen at the wedding? Didn't they ask?
I told them I'm not in contact with you anymore from the beginning. To quote my exact words, it's better to have no mother than a bad one. Besides, think about it, it's easier for all of them if I don't have a family. No one actually enjoys family dinners where everyone has to laugh at each other's crappy jokes and pretend they get along. I bet they felt a weight lifted off their shoulders as soon as I told them.
I see.
Which means this is the last time we'll ever speak. It's time for you to get out of my life. Me, my wife, and her family are all gonna live happily ever after now. I need you to promise you'll never try and contact me again. Leave me to live my life in peace, okay?
I take it that means you can't be happy with me around?
Exactly. You're nothing but a burden. Face it, you're not getting any younger. Before long, you'll be old, infirm, and begging for me to look after you. I don't have the time or patience for that. And Lord knows I wasn't put on this earth to change diapers. It's for the best we go our separate ways. You need to promise you'll never bother me again.
Carl, you have no idea how important you were to me. Maybe you never realized, but it's true. You were the most important thing in the whole world to me.
Stop trying to guilt trip and make me feel sympathy for you, Mom, because it ain't gonna work. Like I said before, if you really love me, prove it by sending me money. If you promise to give me $50,000 to cover what went into the wedding, I'll consider staying in contact with you. I'm pretty sure there's no way you're capable of putting together that much money, though.
$50K is a little much. You're right, I can't.
I knew it. You're just as useless as I thought. I knew I made the right decision in terminating our relationship. This is goodbye, you sad, broke old woman. Never call me your son again.
Understood. If it makes you happy, I'll never contact you again.
Thank God for that. Your only redeeming quality is that you know when to take a hint. I'm grateful for that, at least. But with your personality being as crappy as it is, I doubt you'll ever be happy.
I am happy.
No way, impossible. Despite being such a decrepit old hag, you're almost ready for a nursing home. You don't even own a single piece of branded clothing. You always wear those disgusting, tattered, worn-out old rags you've probably had in your closet since the Stone Age. Unlike me, you don't know the meaning of luxury or extravagance. That doesn't sound like happiness to me.
No amount of fancy, expensive clothes will make you happy.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing your broke-ass loser excuses. You probably used the same one back in the Great Depression, you old hag. You're definitely old enough to have been around back then. Want to know what the real Great Depression is? Your life. Bye. Go crawl into a dark hole where you can't bother me ever again, then die. Hey, Mom, it's been ages. How have you been?
Huh? Who's this?
Carl! No way, did you delete my number? Rude. How could you do that to your own son?
Is there something I can help you with?
Will you be speaking all stiff and formal? Who are you, a freaking hotel receptionist? Anyway, forget that, let's get straight down to business. Why didn't you tell me you got married?
Why would I?
Why would you? Oh, I don't know, maybe because I'm your son? But wow, holy Jesus balls, Mom. How the hell did you manage to bag yourself the CEO of Silicon Valley's hottest new startup? I have to meet him. Think of all the business connections to be made here. Tell him he's going to be meeting his son-in-law real soon.
What on earth are you talking about? Mom? I only have a daughter. I don't have a son.
Huh? A daughter? What the? Wait, this is Nina Cheswick's number, right?
Yes, that's me. Well, it was. My name's Nina Nesbitt now.
Aha, I knew it, so you are my mom! Why would you say something so awful, Mom? That stings. I think about you all the time. I feel awful about how things ended between us.
How things ended between us? You mean how you cut me out of your life and told me never to contact you again?
I never wanted to do that, Mom, but I had to take the opinions of the people around me into consideration. What else was I supposed to do? I was rubbing shoulders with the elite back then. I thought I was finally making my break into the big leagues.
Good for you.
Just let me meet him, Mom. If, by any chance, is your daughter the new husband's kid from an old marriage?
Maybe she is. What of it?
Are you sure you're okay with this, Mom? That kind of baggage isn't something to be taken on lightly, you know.
She's the same age as you.
Mom, please think carefully. Are you sure this is what you want? Baggage like that usually only means trouble. Think about it. Hating your in-laws is practically an American cultural tradition at this point. You'll never be her real mom, you know that, right? Has she said anything mean to you? You've always been mean and incapable of asserting yourself, and I'm worried about you. You get blown around like a feather in wind by the opinions and demands of other people.
Your worries couldn't be further misplaced. Caitlin is lovely and has been very kind to me ever since we met. We cook meals together, go out shopping together, watch movies together, gossip about our favorite celebs together. Anyone who didn't know would mistake us for best buddies. She even took me on a trip to Greece last month. I never felt more loved and appreciated.
She took you abroad? Your daughter-in-law took you on a trip abroad?
Yes, she took me abroad. She's such a darling. I'm lucky to have her.
It must be nice for filthy rich parents. You get to live life on easy mode. You get to do the best school. You get easy pickings on the best jobs. You get to wear the best clothes and eat at the best restaurants, and all without even trying. She must be seriously well off if she can afford to splurge on expensive holidays for a mom-in-law.
Her father's the hardest working man I've ever met. His wife left him when Caitlin was young, just like how your dad walked out on us. To make matters worse, the company he was with at the time went bankrupt the same day. He was forced to go into debt just to keep a roof over his head, but he didn't let the setbacks deter him. He kept fighting and made a success of himself against all odds. Which is why you're wrong. His daughter wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She had to endure more want, hardships, and suffering than any of her peers.
Wow. But even so, surely her rich hotshot dad was the one who actually paid to fly you out to Greece. When you say his daughter took you, you probably mean she just happened to tag along, right? Yeah, of course she did. I bet Daddy's little girl gets whatever she wants without having to lift a finger.
Wrong. Caitlin paid for me to go to Greece with her with nothing but her own hard-earned money.
She did? Whatever. You don't love her more than me, your beloved son, do you? I just know you wouldn't love someone else's kid more than me, your actual son. Of course not. She's probably nothing to you compared to me.
That's not true at all. She's one of the sweetest, kindest, most charming people I've ever met. She saw to it that I got to do all of the things I've always dreamed of doing but couldn't, and I couldn't be happier to have her in my life. I'm filled with pride to be blessed with such an amazing daughter. I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Look, Mom, I'm so sorry the way I treated you. But admit it, this is all just an act to make me feel jealous because you're mad about what I did, isn't it? I'm sorry I broke things off with you. It was stupid of me and I regret it. Can we see each other, please? Even just one more time will do.
Why would I want to see you?
Because I'm worried about you.
I'm fine, really. In fact, I've never been doing as well as I am now, so do us all a favor and just forget about me. Anyway, I have nothing more to say to you. Goodbye.
Oh, wait a sec! Mom, please don't go. I need your help. I lost my job. I'm unemployed now.
Ah, yes. Come to think of it, I did hear something along those lines. Your company did a huge restructure, right? I take it you didn't make the grade.
You knew? If you knew, why didn't you do anything to help me? Why didn't you reach out? You have no idea how much I've suffered because of this. I barely recognize my life anymore. My in-laws are constantly on my back about finding a job. They literally never shut up about it. It's like I'm nothing to them now I don't work for a major company anymore. I'm doing my best, really I am, but I can't seem to find any good jobs. What's worse, the in-laws aren't the only ones giving me the cold shoulder. My wife's been grumpy with me ever since. She won't even cook for me or do my laundry anymore.
I know it's not your fault the company decided to do a restructure, but surely you understand this is the path you chose? It has nothing to do with me.
Don't say things like that, Mom. We're family. You gave birth to me for crying out loud. I'm your real son, but you talk about some stranger you've only known 5 minutes like she's more important than me.
You cut me out of your life in the most heartless way possible and told me to never contact you again, Carl. I did exactly what you asked of me and left you alone.
I only said that in the heat of the moment. I know now what an amazing person you are.
Is that so? To me, it looks like you're only messaging me because you're struggling financially. You seem awfully intrigued by the fact that my new husband happens to be the CEO of a major company, too. At no point have I felt like the reason we're speaking again after all of this time is because you hold any positive feelings for me. Oh, by the way, Anna, your old childhood friend, got in touch with me recently. She holds a senior position at my husband's company. She said you'd been pestering her for all kinds of information about him. What might the reason for that be, Carl?
Gosh, she told you? What the hell is her problem?
She probably thought it was best I know because of how suspicious you were acting. I'm good friends with her mom, you see. So she knew all about how you treated me. Oh, I heard something else, too. It turns out I wasn't the only one you decided you were too good to associate with. I heard you blocked all of your old school friends after calling them a bunch of cringy losers and telling them never to contact you again.
No! Well, okay, maybe I did, but it was just a prank.
Of course you bragged to them about your fancy new life in the city and all the expensive stuff you could afford first. I can't think of a better way to be universally hated than kicking your entire circle of childhood friends out of your life because you think having a good job makes you superior to them all of a sudden.
Ugh, you know what? Fine, I did say that. Want to know why? Because I live in a different world to those small fries. They're dweebs. And they should be grateful to have ever met someone like me.
Ah, and there we have it. I see you haven't changed a bit. There really is no hope for you if you still think like that after all this time. I'm guessing the only reason you're begging for money now is because Anna refused to give you any? You're a disgrace to the human race.
That's no way to talk about your son. Besides, you're the one who raised me. If I'm flawed, you're the only one to blame.
Maybe so. Perhaps I did go wrong somewhere down the line. But in any case, there's nothing I can do about it now. You're beyond all hope of salvation.
Don't say that, Mom. I'm struggling here. I need a helping hand.
I am not your mother. You're the one who ended our relationship. You're the one who said I'm not your mom anymore. You're the one who made us strangers. You!
Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm filled with nothing but regret over how cruel and horrible I was to you. There's no excuse, and I won't try to make any.
I'm glad to hear it. But some things can never be undone.
But the only reason I said those things in the first place was because I thought you'd understand I had no choice due to my situation. I thought you'd find it in your heart to forgive me one day. I realize now that was naive and arrogant of me. I didn't mean what I said.
How many years has it been now? You didn't message me once when it was inconvenient for you, did you? The fact you only come crying to me now when you lose your job tells me everything I need to know. How about you stop pestering me and ask your wife's parents to help you instead? They're the family you chose, after all. I'm sure they'll be tripping over themselves to help you after all the sacrifices you made for them.
I can't exactly say we get along well. They're a pair of haughty tightwads just like my wife.
Oh, I see. Well, that's not my problem.
Please, Mom, I'm begging you here. The 20K is all I'm asking for. Either that or, listen, Mom, I'm gonna ask a huge favor of you now. Please, can me and my wife live with you and your husband? You must have tons of spare rooms in his mansion.
You really don't know when to stop, do you? It's actually embarrassing. Cutting all ties with someone means you no longer get the privilege of asking favors. What was it you said to me? Go crawl into a dark hole where you can't bother anyone, then die? It would be one thing to be told that by a child throwing a tantrum, but by your fully grown son? Carrying on as we left off, as if you didn't say any of those hateful things to me, is out of the question.
I may have been an adult back then, but I was still a kid emotionally. Please, can we move past this? Can we forget it like the meaningless, childish nonsense it was? I thought I had license to say whatever I wanted to you because you're my mom. I was naive and foolish enough to believe that you'd always give me another chance.
I don't think you need to tell me this, because you have children of your own now. But parents are humans too. Regardless of whatever situation you were in, you did what you did of your own free will. It's too late now. If you genuinely regretted what you said, you would have reached out and tried to right your wrongs sooner.
I'm so sorry, Mom. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. No amount of apologies could convey how remorseful I am.
I'm the one who should be apologizing. I should be apologizing for not being able to stop you from turning into the vain, arrogant, selfish, money-obsessed monster that you are. I want you to forget about me.
No, listen to me, Mom. I don't want you to apologize. I want you to help me.
Not happening. It's too late now and there's no going back. But if you genuinely regret what you did, then I want you to change. I know that being a stranger, I have no right to tell you that, but I pray you use this as an opportunity to become a better person. Goodbye. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to, which means you don't have to worry about me ever bothering you again. After that, I sent my son $10,000 of my savings. Then, I immediately ended the contract on the only phone that he was capable of contacting me on. I know you probably think I'm a fool for sending him $10,000, but I think of it as a fee for getting him out of my life once and for all. A small price to pay for all the heartache and suffering that he caused me. Hopefully that 10K will take him far enough to find a new job, so he can start building a new life for himself without relying on others. I have no intention of giving him another cent of my money, and even if by some miracle he does manage to track me down again, I won't be there to help him. I had intended to forget about my son after he declared he was kicking me out of his life. But it turned out he didn't have the grit or tenacity to follow through with his decision when times got tough. In a way, I'm pleased he came back. I feel like now I finally have closure. I'll probably never speak to my son again. His arrogant, supercilious attitude saw to it that he lost all of his friends. I heard from his childhood friend Anna recently that he's a complete social pariah now. He's not only universally hated in our hometown, but all of his relationships in the city he moved to for work fell apart when people realized what a nasty, toxic person he is deep down. What can I say? Actions have consequences. If you treat people like dirt, you'll be treated like someone who treats people like dirt. Of course, money is important, but it's ultimately just a means to an end. Was there ever a single person who achieved true happiness and fulfillment through riches alone? I'll let you decide. My son may have gotten $10,000, but no amount of money will fill the hollow, empty void inside of his soul. A mother's love is one of the most powerful things in the world, but even that has its limits. You might say Carl never asked me to give birth to him, and you'd be right. But when children grow up and spread their wings, when they fly the nest and make their own way in the big wide world, they have a duty and responsibility to decide for themselves what kind of people they want to be. If he's capable, I pray that he reflects carefully on everything that transpired between us and uses his guilt and regret as motivation to become a better version of himself. But whether he will is another question. Speaking honestly, if he's superficial and shallow enough to start sucking up to me just after he found out I married a CEO, I doubt there's much hope of him changing his ways. I'm just grateful he didn't cause my new family any problems. My new husband is great, and he understands the true value of money because he's experienced real poverty. He says my money-saving dishes are some of the tastiest food he's ever eaten. Not only that, but we both love going out on the best kinds of dates there are. Walks to the park, movie nights on the sofa. Why? Because the best things in life are free. Me and my stepdaughter may not be related by blood, but I love her as if she were my own. And I feel blessed to have such an amazing person in my life. She's a hard worker, just like her dad, and while she's often busy with work, we always make sure to go for days out as a family when we can find the time. Having such a special stepdaughter almost makes up for all of the things I never got to do with my son. I know I'm lucky to be surrounded by such love and warmth, and I vow to never take what I have for granted. I want my life from here on out to be one of gratitude, service, and love for my incredible family. Here's to our future together.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Peep texts! Mom, long time no talk. Listen.
Utaka! What's wrong with you? You know what your brother's going through right now? Why aren't you doing anything to help?
Huh? What happened?
He can't find a good job, and he's still single. He seems so sad.
He still doesn't have a job?
He's just waiting for the right opportunity. He says he wants to be a lawyer someday, just like his father. He's not a loser like you. You work in construction, right? Pathetic. He's just waiting for the right opportunity. You'll see.
Okay, but he's 30, unemployed, and single. He should probably try harder. And so what if I work in construction? It's a big company.
Stop talking like that.
Whatever. Listen, Mom, I need to tell you something.
What?
I'm getting married.
You getting married? What are you saying? You can't do that.
Huh? What do you mean I can't? You never cared about me. Whatever, I gotta go.
What's your problem, huh? You can't do this to your brother. You can't get married before him.
What? Seriously? Why does that matter?
He's older than you. That's why. Do as I say. Got it?
No, not really.
Once your brother gets married, you can do whatever you want. But until then, no marriage.
Ugh.
You're in your 30s already. Stop acting like a kid.
Actually, I'm still 27, and you can't tell me what to do. I'm a grown man now.
Oh, be quiet. I'm your mother. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for me. You understand that?
What?
I own you.
Seriously?
Yes. I'm your mother. You're my property. You hear me? Do as I say.
You're unbelievable.
Quiet. Just do as I say.
Look, you guys never cared about me. Why start now?
Stop talking back to me. Oh, you're not a kid anymore.
Growing up, all you two cared about was my brother. You never cared about me.
But that's not my fault. You weren't worth it, that's all.
What?
You heard me. Your brother was always smarter than you. He was the horse to bet on. That's why we never paid attention to you. Your brother got all of our good genes. But you got all our bad genes. What did you expect?
So this is all my fault?
Of course. Duh. Ugh, I can't believe you two are related. Whatever. Honestly, I wish I never had you. You're a disappointment.
All right, I've heard enough. We're done here. Don't contact me ever again. Bye.
Yutaka! Long time no talk. Why did you reach out to me? I thought you never wanted to hear from me again.
I work with Mr. Hamaguchi. I had no idea you two knew each other. And you're the one that texted me. You asked him over and over again for my number, didn't you? He told me everything. How do you even know him?
Oh, he's an old friend of mine. Don't worry about it.
Whatever. What do you want?
Oh, right. Yutaka, I heard you were on TV. You live in a big condo, right?
Yeah? What do you mean I was on TV?
Oh, I knew it. Your brother said he saw you on TV. He wants you to switch houses with him. We sent his stuff to your place yesterday.
What?
Why didn't you tell us? Oh, you should have told us. If it weren't for your brother, we never would have found out. Oh, good thing he doesn't have a day job.
He's still out of a job? Wow.
He's just waiting for the right opportunity. It takes time and patience.
He's just leeching off of you guys. Isn't Dad retiring soon?
Oh, that. We don't need him anymore.
What?
We got you, so...
Huh?
We saw your condo. It's nice. You were being interviewed. Looks like you're doing quite well for yourself.
Interview?
They were asking you about the condo?
Oh, that.
It's got a swimming pool and a 24-hour gym, right? Oh, it's too much for you, but your brother would love it. Unlike you, he's really talented, so his stuff should be arriving there soon. Get your stuff and move out.
It's not here.
What are you saying? Check again. He looked up your address and everything. Don't open his stuff, though.
I said it's not here.
What? It has to be. We got your room number and everything.
You sure about that?
Hold on, let me check.
Listen, tell him to live within his means.
How dare you talk to him like that? Take that back. He's gonna do great things with his life. You'll see.
It's been more than 30 years. Wake up.
How dare you? Apologize.
He's a leech. He never worked a day in his life, and he's always making excuses. Face it, he's a loser. How can you not see that?
What did you say?
You heard me, and now you're trying to leech off of me? You're just as bad as him. You realize that?
Oh, whatever. I don't care. Look, his stuff should be arriving there soon. Just help him out, okay? Come on, we're family.
No, we're not.
What?
And that condo that you saw on TV? I don't live there.
What?
I live in a condo, but not that one. The one you saw on TV? My dad's company built it. It was part of the project. That's why they were interviewing me.
What? And wait, what do you mean your dad's company? Your dad doesn't work in construction. What are you saying?
Oh, that. I'm talking about my father-in-law. They're my family now, not you guys.
Are you serious?
Remember what you told me a few years ago? You said, I wish I never had you. That's like the worst thing you could say to a child. You're a terrible person. It really hurt me, you know? I tried to forget about it, but it wasn't easy. Then I met my wife and her parents. They were so kind to me. They helped me get to where I am today. I owe them everything. They're my real family now. You're just a stranger to me, so... But you wanted this, right? You said it yourself, remember?
Oh, just stop it. Do as I say, okay? Oh, you never listen to me. That's why you're a loser.
Right, whatever you say. That's why I live in a big condo and your son is still living in your house.
Ugh.
If he wants to live in a condo, go see a real estate agent. Oh, but wait. He's broke and unemployed, right? Might be kind of tough. Good luck! They tried to find me after that. But it was a big city, and now I have a different last name, so they were out of luck. I guess they're stuck in that shithole they call home. Oh well. As for me, I finally had a loving family and a place I could call home. My father-in-law was a tough boss, but he was a kind man. And my mother-in-law was always smiling. And my wife, she made my life complete. It was a great feeling. Glad everything worked out.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Texts. Mom, it's about what happened today at the hospital. That's not acceptable. Who do you think you are?
What?
Come on, Mom. Not what. I'm obviously referring to you ranting and raving at my wife, throwing around nonsense accusations like Jason ended up like this because of you, and it's all your fault at her.
Nonsense. It's true, and you know it. If she hadn't been driving dangerously, you never would have gotten hurt. You're a paraplegic because of her.
I told you that's not true. How many times do I have to say the same thing? We were parked up by a crossing when someone asleep at the wheel crashed into us from behind. Neither me nor Ella did anything wrong.
But if there was no accident, you'd still be a normal person, wouldn't you? I can't help but vent my anger. It's only natural. I'm your mother.
A normal person? Are you saying I'm not a normal person? In any case, I need you to stop giving my wife a hard time. It wasn't her fault, and she feels awful enough without getting it in the neck from you. She got injured herself, you know.
I don't give even 1/10 of a damn about someone else's kid. You're the one I'm worried about, Jason. You're my only boy.
Someone else's kid? That's my wife you're talking about. Are you aware we're married? That makes her family. Family! Anyway, I'm fully capable of getting by and earning a living even if I'm in a wheelchair. So you really don't need to worry about me.
Fine, have it your way. Oh, how ungrateful. To think I'm kind enough to worry about you, and this is the thanks I get. Jason, listen to me. I had a long, hard think last night. And I decided it would be better if me and you never had anything to do with each other ever again. I think we should cut all ties, son.
What?
It's time to address the elephant in the room, son. You're a cripple. Living alone is going to be virtually impossible for you from now on. There's no hope of you being able to look after me when I'm old and infirm if you can't even look after yourself.
Old and infirm? What? Basically, you're cutting all ties with me because I can't look after you when you're old.
That's not the only reason. On top of that, I simply don't have enough time or energy to look after you, which means it would be quite inconvenient to have you around. I'm already getting old, you know. My knees creak, my hips ache. I'm no spring chicken. My plan is to live out my years getting by on your father's inheritance. That would be a lot easier for me if I had one less family member to worry about. Think of it as an opportunity to express some gratitude for all the hard work I put into raising you. You'll accept, won't you?
You can't be serious. Is this the kind of thing a mother says to her heavily disabled son? Can't believe it.
Come on, Jason. Surely you can see it can't be helped. I put in years of blood, sweat, and tears into raising you and did a damn fine job, if I do say so myself. I had no issue with devoting my time and energy to you when I thought it would pay off after I reached an old age. But now? What use is a son who can't even walk around without assistance? And I'm asking you nicely, won't you be a dear and free me from my servitude?
I see. Basically, what you're saying here, Mom, is that the only reason you had me in the first place was so I could change your diapers when you get old. And now that I can't walk due to the car crash, I no longer have any value. So you're throwing me away like a piece of garbage. On top of that, you also plan on keeping all my dad's inheritance for yourself, even though he specifically stated a sizable chunk should go to me.
It's hardly my fault. Want to know what the single most important thing in the world is, son? Having a solid plan. If I cut you out of my life, I can live out the rest of my days entirely on your father's money. As for your side of the bargain, you also get out of having to care for me when I'm old and frail. No matter how you look at it, it's a win-win situation.
Do whatever you like. I won't try and stop you cutting me out of your life. But don't you dare try and contact me or my wife ever again. This is final.
That's my line. Don't bother showing up at the house and try to get your greedy hands on the inheritance, because you won't be setting foot inside ever again. Starting tomorrow, we're strangers. Is that clear? Okay, fantastic. Bye-bye. Jason! You came to the house today, didn't you? I warned you! Why did you take the fridge and TV? Give them back at once.
Because they're my personal belongings that I paid for? I can't leave my stuff at your house forever. I gave the key to a close friend and had him stop by to pick them up. Oh, I told him to leave all the frozen stuff in a cooler box, so you're best off eating them ASAP before they spoil.
I cannot believe you. I had no idea my son was so petty and small-minded. Oh, did I say son? Oh, my mistake. You're a stranger now, of course. Oh, it's fine, forget it. That fridge and TV were probably just second-hand junk anyway. I'll buy some shiny new ones with your dad's inheritance. So I don't need your junkyard scrap anyway.
Sure. The fridge is a brand new Hitachi with touchscreen feature configuration and Wi-Fi connectivity. And the TV is an ultra-thin, flat-screen, 70-inch home cinema tier marvel of modern technology. It's true, though. Maybe you'll be able to afford them if you use Dad's inheritance. It's your house, so do what the hell you like.
I don't need to be told by you. Believe me, that's what I fully intend on doing. Never message me again. The next time you enter this house without my permission, the police will be called.
I hate to break this to you, but you're the one who contacted me.
Jason!
What? I was sure you told me we're cutting all ties. Did I dream it?
Don't be sarcastic with me, boy. I have one last thing to tell you. Believe me, you'll want to hear this.
What?
I threw away all the stuff in your room.
You did what now?
Think about it. There was no reason for me to keep a complete stranger's belongings lying around in my house. Yesterday was a combustible garbage day, and today was large refuse. Which means that in just 2 trips from the garbage collectors, all your stuff is gone forever. How lucky am I?
Does that also include the cards in the cardboard boxes?
Probably. I threw everything away after all. Oh no, there weren't items of immense sentimental importance in those boxes, were there? Oh, what a shame. I'm choking for you here. I'm so sorry. Tragically for you, though, I threw them out yesterday. So there's no way of reclaiming them now. I I threw away your luggage too. With this, the cutting of ties is complete. Now we really are complete strangers. Now, for one last time, never message me again.
You really went and did it this time, huh?
What?
Did you really throw away Dad's inheritance?
Inheritance? What are you talking about?
His collection. Oh man, you really went and did it this time. Each and every item in those boxes currently sells for somewhere in the vicinity of $400 to $1,600. He didn't own a single thing that wasn't worth something. Plus, he had absolutely tons of stuff. That stuff was worth tens of thousands of dollars in total. And that's a conservative estimate. I wouldn't be unreasonable to put the combined total at over $75,000.
What? What are you talking about? You're lying. Those boxes are full of nothing but silly kids' games. Junk!
There's a premium on junk like that in certain circles. They were only set to go up in value too since they're no longer in production. Go ahead, try searching for expensive card game on the internet. You'll be surprised. Chances are the majority of results you'll get were the things in the boxes you just threw away.
Wait, no, you're lying. You're lying, right? Tell me you are. Are you sure they weren't just replicas? If they were really so valuable, why didn't you have your friend take them when he was here for the fridge and TV?
There was no way I could take them. Dad said they were part of your inheritance. He said he wanted them to go to you.
What?
You know how Dad had a bit of a hoarding habit? Well, before he died, he divided up all the stuff that could be sold at a decent price between the family and wrote it in his will. To me, he left all of the heavier, more unwieldy antiques. To you, he left the lighter, easy-to-sell card games.
What? This is the first I've heard of it.
Of course it is. Dad asked me to tell you in the event, and only in the event, that you were facing genuine financial hardship and struggling to get by. It's written in his last will and testament addressed to me. I can show you if you don't believe me. Now, I did plan on doing as he asked and was prepared to go through the necessary procedures if that time ever came.
Oh my God.
Good grief, Mom. I wouldn't have guessed in a million years you'd toss everything out. Me or the cards. It's not a total loss, though. I plan on taking good care of all the antiques Dad gave me at the least.
Jason, you get yourself down to the landfill and start digging through the trash at once.
What? No way! I'm in a wheelchair. That's impossible.
But you said that stuff was worth $75,000. You might still make it if you go now. Hurry up! Move!
I don't think so. You said you tossed them out yesterday, so they've probably all been crushed by now.
Don't get clever with me, boy. I know. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. If you come back with the $75,000 worth of cards, I'll allow you back into this family. Not just that, but I'll even look after you.
Sorry to disappoint you, but like I already told you, I don't need looking after.
What are you talking about? You're a wheelchair-bound cripple, for heaven's sake. How can someone like you live on their own?
I'm not alone. I have my wife. Anyway, do you even know what my job is? I create plastic models. I receive commissions and then create prototypes for dolls, figures, and models. Which is why I don't need to walk to earn a living.
What? Does that mean getting crippled in the accident has no effect on your salary?
How many times have I told you at this point? 5? 10? Damned if I know. What kind of mother doesn't know what their own son's job is? Do you have that little interest in me?
Really? You do that? That's great news, son.
Oh, wow. Am I your son again now? That sure is convenient, huh? There's just one problem. I don't consent to this rekindling of ties you seem to be assuming is taking place. We're strangers now, and we always will be.
Jason! How can you be so cold towards your mother? Have you no heart? Despite me being so lonely, what with your father gone and all, how horrible. Jason, my boy, won't you be a darling and come back to the house today? Let's have some supper together.
I'm not eating with you. Don't be ridiculous. There seems to be a small contradiction between cutting all ties with me and then inviting me over for supper to play Happy Families.
Jason, please. This wasn't an easy decision for me to make, you know. I only did what I did because I was filled with anxiety about the future.
I'm sure you were. I had a feeling to that effect, which is why I intentionally left only the card games behind. You're the one who threw them all out solely because you made the mistaken assumption they were guilty of the crime of belonging to me. To be honest, I'm more sick of you than I am sympathetic.
I've got an idea. Won't you be a dear and give me all the antiques your dad left you? I don't mind if they're heavy.
What? Why would I do that? Why would I give you the things Dad explicitly said he wanted to go to me? I won't even be selling them anyway. Those antiques were part of Dad's cherished collection, and they were really important to him.
All the more reason to hand them over. They'd be far more valuable if I sold them. I could use them to get by on. What use are they as decorations for your apartment? They'd be nothing but clutter. It's what your father would want, Jason. You know it's true.
I could explain in explicit detail why you're wrong, but you probably wouldn't even understand. Anyway, I have absolutely no intention of giving you any of his stuff. Nor do I ever want to live with you again. I'm gonna stop replying to your messages soon.
How can you be so insensitive? Oh, I've had it with you. Fine, I don't need you. I still have some savings in my bank account.
That's great. Since you've been so heavily reliant on Dad's inheritance all this time, you must have saved up about $75,000 by now, right?
What does my bank balance have to do with you, boy? If I did have that much, I'd be able to live off it for the rest of my life.
Do you seriously think that'd be enough to see you through the rest of your days?
What? 75,000? Of course it would.
With your current lifestyle, you're eating through at least $15,000 a year. Doesn't take a genius to figure out you're only going to be able to keep that up for 5 more years. You could afford to have a higher standard of living when Dad was still around, but there's no way your current lifestyle is sustainable.
What's your point? Are you saying I need to tighten my belt and save up more? No chance. You can't stop me buying the things I want.
Listen, want to know what the simple, most important thing in the world is? Having a solid plan. If anyone can do it, you can, Mom. I have to make this clear, though, and it really pains me to say this, but me and my wife simply don't have enough time or energy to look after a complete stranger.
Stop it, please. Just wait. What do you mean, stranger? We're family. I'm your mother. Let's just talk this over. Jason, please, answer the phone.
Look, Mom, I'm a cripple. Things would be a whole lot easier for me if I had one less family member to worry about. Look on the bright side. You're free to do what you want with Dad's inheritance. And I'm blessed to have a loving wife who looks after me. Which means you don't have to go through the trouble. No matter how you look at it, it's a win-win situation. Apparently after that, much to my astonishment, my mom ran to the landfill on her own and entered illegally by climbing over the back fence in a frenzied panic. When she was brought to my apartment and in the back of a police car, she was covered head to toe in garbage juice. It smelled something like a mixture between sewage and rotting flesh. Of course, being strangers now, I firmly rejected my responsibility and sent her back on her way with those 2 unfortunate policemen who had to tolerate the stench. She was driven back to her house ranting and raving like a lunatic. It was what happened over the next few days that shocked me the most. Me and my wife got back from a day out to find someone had been rummaging through our belongings and made a total mess of the place. When I confronted my mom, she confessed to sneaking into the apartment and turning the place upside down in an attempt to find my dad's antiques. Thankfully, her search was in vain because my wife's parents very kindly agreed to let us keep everything at their place for a while. However, my patience had reached its limit. We enlisted the help of a lawyer through a recommendation from my stepdad. When we went over to warn her that we'd take legal action if she ever pulled anything like that again, my mother, tragically ignorant of the world, immediately became timid and backed down. And she hasn't bothered us since. I do have a feeling she'll probably try to get in touch with me again after a little while. So me and my wife are currently making preparations to move on the down low. I already bought a new cell phone, which means that by the next spring, we finally will be strangers once and for all.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Beep text. Hey Mom, sorry to be so late. I wasn't able to find that organic beef you like. So I went to that expensive supermarket across town. Figured they would have it. So I'm going to be a little bit late. Hope you don't mind waiting a little bit longer. Gotta ride my bike back.
Oh, yeah. About that. I'm sorry, but I don't feel like having meat anymore.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, Anna. I want you outside tonight. You got that?
Outside? You mean I have to sleep outside tonight? Again?
Yeah, I can't do anything about it. What can I say? Bill just called and he wants to meet tonight. I can't very well refuse, you know what I mean? I can't have you moping around, so as usual, sleep outside. You got that?
Yeah, right. Okay. What about dinner? What should I do for dinner?
What's one day without a meal? You can go without food for a day, right? Oh, and that beef you bought today? Leave it in the fridge. I want to eat it tomorrow. Don't you dare touch it. Do that and the consequences will be severe. You do understand, right? That organic beef is way too good for you.
Yeah, okay. I got it.
All your stuff is in the closet, right?
Yeah, I put it all in there, but my homework might still be on the desk.
Huh? Are you serious? I told you to keep everything out of view so that when Phil comes over, there's no trace of you.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I'll be more careful. I'll clean it all up when I get home.
Boy, can you even remember the simplest things? You sure got a couple of screws loose in that little head of yours. If Phil wasn't around to help out, we wouldn't be here. We would never survive. You do understand that, right? And that's solely because I'm so pretty and cute. A woman that any guy would want to protect. It's because of me that you're able to live here. He gives me money every month. And if he finds out I have a lazy-ass daughter living here, he would drop me like yesterday's trash. That's why I keep telling you not to show yourself. Any trace of you and kaput, he's gone. Get that through your thick skull. What did I say about you? Say it. Repeat what I keep telling you.
I'm just there. Can't be seen. I'll never come between my mother and her boyfriend. Ever. I'm not needed. I don't exist.
That's right. At least you remember that. So don't you dare come into the house after Phil arrives and leaves for work tomorrow morning. He'll be here by 6 p.m. tonight, so I want you gone before then. He sees you and it's all over. You got that?
Yes, Mother. Hey, Grandma. Can I go over to your place now?
Anna, is that you? It's been a while. What's the matter? It's late.
I know. I'm sorry. I just didn't know who to turn to anymore. I really shouldn't have contacted you. It's late. I'm sorry.
What's this about? You should be in bed by now. Is this about your mom again? Don't worry about it. I said you can contact me anytime. Where are you right now?
I'm sitting here in the parking lot next to the apartment since like 5 p.m.
The parking lot? Are you serious? This late at night? You must be freezing. Where's your mom? Is she busy? She not home yet?
Mom is... She's in the apartment with her boyfriend, Phil.
Huh? In the apartment? And you're sitting out in the cold? All alone?
Grandma, could you please help me? I mean, just this once. Every time this guy comes to her place, I get kicked out. She doesn't want him to see me. If he finds out she has a daughter, well, I felt bad about it and wanted to help Mom out. But I just can't take it anymore. I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. Every day is hell. Is God punishing me or something? Can't I even enjoy my life? Is it just me? Am I the only one in this world that's living this pathetic life? Day in and day out? I'm sorry to be such a burden. Every day I'm just causing trouble for people. What good am I? Right, Grandma? I'm just a pathetic human being.
Anna, who do you think you're talking to? I'm your grandmother, for God's sake. We're family. You're my granddaughter. You're not a burden. As family, we have to help each other out.
But I just feel so bad about it. You know, that I'm just baggage for everyone.
You're not baggage. What are you saying? A family must help each other out. That's what I'm here for. Actually, I should be thanking you. I'm overjoyed that you would rely on little old me for help.
I'm so happy you feel that way, Grandma. I really appreciate it.
Yes, well, let's talk more later. First things first, I'll go and pick you up right now, so hang tight.
Huh? Pick me up? No, that's okay. I'll go there myself. I have my bicycle. I mean, I called you and all.
Actually, Grandpa and I are already on our way. So sit tight for a bit longer, Anna.
Huh? Already? You guys are ready on your way?
Don't wait out there in the cold. Get in the apartment building and keep warm. You'll catch cold, for God's sake.
Thanks so much, Grandma.
Forget it, and don't you worry about a thing. About your mom, you just leave it up to me. I'll take care of her. What is it? Do you realize what time it is? It's way past midnight, for God's sake. I was sound asleep. Wake your little butt up and answer the phone. And I mean right now. I'm busy right now. So sorry. Busy, huh? So you call leaving your daughter out in the cold parking lot all alone as you sit in that warm apartment with your boyfriend? You call that busy? Huh? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's about Anna. She just called me. She needed help. Oh yeah? I kind of remember something about that. So very sorry to be such a bother to you. Just leave her be, she'll be fine. She's a big girl now. Are you out of your mind? She's your daughter. What the hell is going through your head? Are you on drugs or something? She's still a child. I said she'll be fine. She's done this plenty of times. No need for you to agonize over nothing. Besides, it's got nothing whatsoever to do with you, Mom. Nothing to do with me? Yeah, your son died years ago. We haven't talked to each other for ages, so why now? You got zero to do with me or my daughter. The reason for that was because whenever you visited us, all you wanted from us was money. That's all you were interested in. Instead of working, you just tried to milk us dry. In the beginning, we had pity on you. Bringing up a young daughter yourself. No real job prospects. We truly wanted to help you out, so we provided for you financially, but when we later found out that you spent all the money on clothes, jewelry, going out drinking with the girls, so we decided to stop helping you. And as a result, you stopped answering the phone or returning our messages online. We even visited you on several occasions, and you wouldn't even show your face. That's why we haven't been in contact. It was not our doing. You haven't changed one bit. Same old loudmouth old bag. Are you with Anna now? Yes, she's with us right now. From this day forward, she'll be living with us. Huh? Really? Man, that would be fantastic. Wow, if you could do that for me, I would be forever grateful. Thanks. Don't you even have a modicum of decency? You're Anna's mother, for God's sake. Nah, not really. As a matter of fact, I was getting sick and tired of her recently. Whining all the time and always in the way. I would really appreciate it if you would keep her. She means nothing to me. There's just no merit in having her around. What can I say? I pity you for taking her in. Are you sure you're gonna be okay? Sick and tired of her, huh? You really don't know your daughter well. Huh? Do you even know why she was able to contact us? I never even told her what my line address was. Yeah? So what? It seems she just remembered all of it. She remembers everything. She remembers people's faces and names. People she's only met once. Can you believe that? Huh? What the hell are you blabbering on about? I heard this from her classmates at school. But it seems she's gotten all A's in her classes and aces every test her teachers give her. Well, you've probably never been to any of the PTA meetings or met with her teachers, so you probably have no idea how she's doing in high school. She's super smart, the top of her class. She's what you call a genius. That's nothing. Do a little good in school and they always label you a genius or a prodigy or something or another. Then when they get older, they're just like everybody else. Nothing special. Anybody can memorize stuff if they try. You have to be creative, not just remember stuff for tests. Besides, I really don't care what she does. Live with you, go to school, drop out, whatever. All I want is to live with Phil. That's all I want. So bug off, you old witch. Oh yeah, about this Phil guy you keep mentioning. Isn't this guy's full name Philip W. Warren? Huh? Where the hell did you get that info? Who told you? Well, it seems Anna got a glance at your smartphone one day and saw the name and phone number on the screen. Somebody is calling this guy right now, right? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, I'm in a different room right now. Yep, he's on the phone right now. And he's talking to Anna right this very second. Huh? What the hell are you saying? What's this all about? At this time, you've been saying how you can't live without your guy Phil. You apparently bamboozled Anna into thinking that you guys couldn't live without Phil's financial support. She really believed you, the poor girl. So what? What's this all got to do with you? Like I said, bug off, old lady. So I decided to tell Anna. We told her she no longer had to hold back her anger or be scared of you. She'll be living with us from now on and that we would protect her. We told her she could do as she pleases. This really gave her a boost of confidence and she called Phil right away. She was very courteous and explained everything politely and to the point. To be honest, I was impressed with her poise and confidence. Huh? What the hell is this? How could she call him? She explained every last detail. How she remembers all that, I have no idea.
Like I said, she's super smart. Like I keep asking, what the hell is this? I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, if you can't figure it out, I urge you to ask Phil directly. He's in the other room, right? Anna, where the hell are you now? Get home right now.
Sorry, can't do that at the moment. I'm at the steakhouse having some of that Kobe beef with Grandpa and Grandma.
Don't give me that crap. Get home right now. You've done it this time, causing trouble again. Get over here, now.
Why would I do that?
Huh?
I have no reason to go back. I'm already Grandpa and Grandma's daughter. I don't have a mother anymore. So, my home is here. I never plan to go back to that dump again.
You have no right to say that. You're just a kid. Have you forgotten that I gave birth to you?
I never asked you to give birth to me. If I had a choice, I would have refused. I've thought of this over and over ever since I was a kid. I really wish I had that choice. But I'm here. I have this life. So I decided to live this life as I see fit. Not rely on the likes of you. Even if you're my so-called mother.
How could you say that to your mother? Have a little respect.
Respect? Give me a break, Mom. You never loved me or cared about me ever since I was born. You didn't even want to have me. All you did was sponge off Dad and played around. The only person who took care of me and loved me when I was growing up was Dad. But Dad is no longer with us. I will never see him again. Not in this world, at least. Living with you was hell for me. No, worse than hell. I couldn't go on living like this. So I decided never to return. So, goodbye, Mother. Have a good life.
What the hell are you talking about? You can't just up and leave. All your stuff is here. What, are you just going to dump it all? If you don't come back and get it, I will burn it all in the dumpster out back. You have that precious little sweater that your dad gave you. You really want that to become a smoldering mess? I can do that for you, no problem.
No problem. Your guy? Phil, was it? He said he'll bring that all over to Grandma's place later on.
Huh? What the hell are you jabbering about?
He said that he didn't realize you had a daughter, and that he was real sorry. He couldn't stop apologizing. I told him he didn't need to apologize. It was you who kept it from him. He wasn't to blame. I asked him to bring all my stuff over to Grandma's place. I texted him the address already. He said he would be more than happy to oblige. I even told him in which closet all the stuff was in. Phil kicked you out of his home, right? You can return to the apartment. The coast is clear. I just got a text from him saying he's on his way over here with my stuff.
I can't believe this. This can't be happening. All your stuff and all the stuff he gave me, it's all gone. He took it all back. The bags, the jewelry he gave me. No, not my precious Rolex. I haven't even received the rent money for this month. What the hell are you going to do about it? How are you going to fix this, you little shit? We're not going to be able to live here anymore. How are we going to survive?
You keep saying we. I have nothing to do with you or how you plan to survive.
Huh?
You've always relied on others to survive. You leached off Dad and you relied on Grandma and Grandpa and now this guy, Phil. Well, not anymore. I always wondered why you didn't work yourself. But now, I'm really happy for you, Mom. Now you get to support yourself and live how you please.
Listen, Anna. I am telling you to... No, I'm begging you to call Phil. Tell him it was all a misunderstanding, that he should get back together with me ASAP. You do that, and I'll forgive you. You can come live with me again. I'll even treat you to some delicious steak. You do that, and you and I won't ever have to work again. We can live happily ever after. What do you say?
Actually, I want to work. I want a good and successful job. I never want to be like you. a freeloader, always relying on others for support.
Who taught you to speak to your mother like that? I bet it was that old hag. I will never forgive you for this. I cannot have you living the good life. No way that's happening. You know what I'll do? I'll crash Grandpa's office and disrupt his business. I'll embarrass him in front of his coworkers. This is your fault. Remember that. I'll make them regret ever helping you. They will despise you after I get through with them.
Mom, you'll never get the chance. I mean, do you even remember the name of the company Grandpa works? Or where it is? Or even what kind of company it is? You know zilch about Grandpa's company. How are you going to crush it? Oh, my sizzling hot steak has arrived. Better dig in. Gotta block any further contact with you. See ya, Mom. Good luck.
Hold on a second. Anna? Anna! Please, you can't just cast your mother aside. Your own flesh and blood? Please!
Don't worry, Mom. You're pretty and cute. Men want to protect you. You'll find another guy in no time. After all, you're only in your mid-40s. You're still young. After that, I moved in with Grandma and Grandpa. They're pretty well off, so I got to live a pretty pampered life. But all those years of abuse hardened me. I did my fair share of cleaning and cooking. I had to pay them back for their kindness after all. I never realized that a warm bed and hot meals every night would bring such joy. If my mom wasn't like that, maybe after Dad died, we could have continued living here in this huge house. I feel real sad when I think about that, but I guess there's nothing I can do about it now. I heard my mom lost the apartment and used up all her meager savings and is currently working part-time job to make ends meet. I saw her downtown a while back. Looked like she was waiting to get picked up. Apparently, she still thinks she's some irresistible beauty. As for me, I don't hate my mother. I have no real feelings for her. Never thought of her as my mother, to be honest. There's no love between us. So, I don't care what she's doing or what happens to her. As for my grandparents, I love them both dearly. They saved me from misery. Once I graduate from high school, I plan to work and repay them for their kindness.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Good morning, Mother. About the trip this week, we plan to meet up at 10 a.m., right?
Yes, that's right. Oh, yeah. And I wanted to ask you about that trip. Why did you reserve rooms at a hotel? I said I wanted to stay at one of those cottages on the lake, didn't I?
Well, this trip was planned for Brian's graduation gift, and you know how he prefers the city rather than the outdoors. And another thing, the hotel has an allergy-specific menu, which I'm sure you know. Brian has a severe allergy. There are certain things he can't eat. Figured it was best to be on the safe side, and also enjoy the vacation without having to worry about what he can eat or can't eat. I'm sure you understand.
This allergy thing again, huh? It's so strange that he can't eat eggs or milk or anything with flour in it. I wonder why he developed such allergies. Maybe you didn't feed him right when he was a child.
No, I don't think that's it. He was born with it.
Oh, really? But, I mean, I have to close up shop to go on this vacation, and we have to stay in a hotel in the city? That's no fun. Why do I have to sit back and take it? I mean, I'm the one running a business, and I need a vacation, and staying at a hotel is not really my way of relaxing.
So, you're taking time off from work?
Of course. The only one that's working at the shop is my husband and my eldest. If my husband takes time off from the shop, well, the shop won't function properly. If my son James was left to mind the place, we would go bankrupt.
Thank you so much for all your hard work, Mother.
If my husband had not demanded that I go on the trip,
I would have passed, but he insisted.
Yes, I see. Thanks so much, Mother. Oh, yes, and Brian said it would be disrespectful for us to leave Grandma behind all by herself. I hope you'll accept how kind and considerate he is towards you, and I hope you occasionally talk to him. Whenever you two meet, you never really talk much. I was getting a bit worried.
No way! Why do I have to go on a vacation and then have to spend time blabbering with my grandson? What would we even talk about? And to be honest, I really don't get along with him.
Really? Okay, I see. I heard there was a beautiful park nearby. We could arrange a picnic for a day. The weather is supposed to be really nice around this time.
Oh, yeah. A picnic, huh? Well, whatever. At least I'll get a little break from all the work I've been doing. Don't worry about me. I'll find stuff to do.
Okay, Mother. Whatever you want.
But could you select some spots I would enjoy while we're there? That would be helpful. I mean, I'm taking precious time off to celebrate his graduation. It's the least you can do.
Hello? Mother? I'm really sorry. Brian was just hospitalized. Could you return home without us?
Huh? I thought we were all going back together. I haven't even made plane reservations.
I'm sorry, but I can't leave Brian's side at the moment. Please, this is an emergency.
Okay. Why did I even consent to this trip? What a total waste.
I'm really sorry about this.
My husband keeps asking me, so why was he hospitalized? What was the cause?
Well, it's obvious. It was an allergic reaction. I guess there was an ingredient in his meal which he was allergic to. I should have known. It was all my fault. I checked with the hotel staff and they were adamant that there was nothing he was allergic to was included. I really don't know what really caused the reaction. I mean, there are sure it wasn't the meal.
Oh, really? He had an allergic reaction at the hotel? I should have seen this coming. He should have been more careful.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Ugh. Well, he just graduated from high school, right? He should be able to handle himself. He's a grown man now. He can't be relying on his mother forever. I spread some powdered eggs before it was served.
You what? Are you serious? Is this some kind of joke? Are you serious? Saying you put powdered egg?
Yes, I saw something on the internet about allergies. It said that if you put powdered eggs over a meal, it prevents allergies. They said it works great on infants, so I figured it would work for Brian. I did it out of compassion. I thought it would cure his allergies once and for all. It's not as if I did it out of malice. I meant no harm.
Meant no harm? Are you serious? He was taken to the hospital. To the ER. Do you realize that?
Yeah, I know. So, what about it? Oh, you want me to apologize or something? Is that what you want me to do? I can understand you thanking me for trying, but to apologize? I only did it because I thought I could cure him. I mean, he would be so much happier if he could eat whatever he wanted, right? Maybe the reaction is only temporary. It could be one step to enhance his immunity. You never know. Maybe next time he eats eggs or whatever, he may get no reaction at all. If that happens, you and Brian would appreciate what I've done. Yeah. You know, maybe we should have him eat it again, but really build his immunity and say goodbye to this bothersome allergy.
Please, stop making this out to be one big joke. Would you have been so insensitive if Brian had died? What would you have done? His allergy is no joke. One mistake and he could have died. Even this very moment, he is in great pain. This is all your fault. I really can't believe you actually did this.
You're blowing this all out of proportion. The reason why he became such a frail boy is probably because of your constant obsessiveness towards him. It's actually all your fault. I'm sure of it. You probably brought him up all wrong. Always picking what he can eat and what he can't. You ruined his childhood. And I stepped in to try and help. And I get this in return? Ugh, please.
Okay, just forget it. I completely realize what kind of person you really are. We will probably never see you again. You were family, and I went along as long as I could. But this is it. Good riddance.
Oh, I see. Showing your true colors, I see. Well, so I don't have to see my grandson anymore. Actually, that's not a bad thought.
You didn't do this because you dislike Brian. Or did you?
Not sure. I'll leave that up to your imagination. I should add that I dislike both you and Derek. You always derided everything I said. You never respected me. And as for my son, Derek, he had no intention of taking over our shop anyway. I mean, he really should look up to his eldest brother, James.
I really can't believe you think this way. It's not what a normal person would do.
You should have never given birth to a child. You're not cut out to be a mother. We are not concerned in the least bit if you guys cut ties with us. We probably won't even notice you are gone.
I really can't forgive you. I will inform James and your husband about what you did.
Go ahead. It would make no difference at all.
Huh? You're delusional. Your husband and son would never put up with what you did.
They all work at my store. Or did you forget that little tidbit? You informed them. Do you really think they would reprimand me, the owner? You're the one who is delusional. Cut ties with me. Well, that means they will be out of a job. Would they really risk it all for a complete stranger?
What about my husband, Derek? What about him? He's your son.
I don't consider him my son anymore. You've contaminated him with your thought germs. You can keep him. He can continue working at your father's old beat-up factory for the rest of his days. Derek sure picked a winner. Anyway, Derek has always been mediocre. Actually, I'm relieved that he will be gone from my life. As long as James, my eldest, is here with us. Well, that's all I want.
I see.
If you understand, just be gone. I never want to see you people again. Never, ever contact us again. Melanie! What did you tell my husband? Come on, answer me. What did you say?
I thought you said you never wanted to contact with us. Just be gone. Isn't that what you said?
Never mind that. Just answer me.
Why do I even have to listen to you? This is one big waste of time. Goodbye.
My husband and my son James, they just told me they quit and left the house about a week ago. They said they could not put up with me anymore and just up and left. My husband, he hasn't returned since. I was forced to close the shop. I can't very well run it all by myself.
Oh, really? It must be very difficult. Okay, goodbye.
Stop kidding around. You did this. I know it.
No, it wasn't me.
Stop lying. I know when you're lying. Who else would do this besides you?
Don't ask me. I really don't know about that. Why don't you just work it out yourself?
Is this Derek's doing? Did he put you up to this? Or was it the both of you scheming behind my back? That's it. I knew it. Derek has always been like that. He's always trying to embarrass me.
It was not Derek.
Huh? Then who the hell blabbed to my husband and son?
Do you really want to know?
Melanie, let me make one thing clear. You are talking to your mother-in-law.
We cut ties with you already. You're not family or a friend. You're a complete stranger to us. I don't care if you're the shop owner or former mother-in-law or whatever. It has nothing to do with me or my family. So, Do you want to know who?
You'll regret treating me like this. Just tell me.
It was Brian. He got your husband and son to quit.
You mean to tell me that frail little allergic-prone punk blabbered to my husband?
Yes, Brian talked with both your husband and James about the whole situation. He told them he wanted to continue being family with them, but no longer wanted anything to do with you. All three of us explained the whole thing to your husband and to James. It's true that your husband is unable to refuse you. And if he does, he loses his job and a place to live. That's where my parents come in. I asked my father to give them a job and a place to live for a while. Your husband pleaded with mine to help him out. And I guess that was what convinced my folks. My father was looking for people, so actually, it was a godsend for us to get not only one, but two competent employees. Oh, yeah, for your information, they have already moved into our dormitory facility.
No way! You're making all this up. That can't be right!
As for your son, James, he's already moved here with his wife and son, your grandson. And your husband, he grabbed the basic essentials and is already living over here. The four of them are living in the apartment dormitory that my father owns. I hear that your shop only employed your husband and son, right? You made them work 7 days as well, hardly allowing them a day off. But neither of them complained, especially your husband, who still apparently loved you, despite your flaws. But after what you did to his grandson, he came to his senses and no longer wanted anything to do with you. He was on the verge of tears while telling me this. He also said that once the whole thing is settled, he plans to begin divorce proceedings. I recommend that you make preparations. That's all I got to say. Goodbye.
Not so fast, you hear me? This conversation is not over! Oh, hello, Melanie. I was just contacting you because I want to give Brian a gift to commemorate his high school graduation. I was wondering if there was anything in particular that Brian wanted. What does he like?
Huh? Is this your mother? I thought I blocked you and deleted all your contact information. Must be some kind of mistake. Goodbye.
Hold on a second!
Huh? What do you want?
Come on! Don't be that way! Let's talk this over! I mean, we're a family, aren't we? We've been a family for the last 18 years. That's got to mean something, right?
What family? Are you serious? How many times have you thrown out my cooking, saying it was crap, saying I always buy takeout food or taking our vacuum cleaner without permission, stuff like that? Oh, yeah, and about that little thing about jeopardizing my son's life? Good, wholesome family stuff like that?
Well, I thought I was just acting normally, but I regret it all. I'm really sorry for acting that way for so many years. I really regret that thing about the powdered eggs. I truly thought it would help. Ever since then, I looked back on what I did and feel absolute regret. I sincerely apologize for it all.
Are you saying all this because your husband is demanding a divorce?
Well, I guess that is part of it.
So, that's what this is all about, huh?
Well, yeah. You know, I just wanted to...
Please stop. You don't have to get all worked up over it.
I have a suggestion. What do you say we all take another vacation? All together, as a family. Including Brian. I really want to fix this and just be a happy family again.
Oh, you are totally delusional. Are you kidding me?
You used to invite me on these trips all the time. Come on. Think about all the good times we had. We can do it again.
About that last trip, I really didn't even want to invite you. But how could I just invite Grandpa and not you, right? So I had no choice but to ask you to come along. But it turned out to be a nightmare for us and for Brian.
Please, I I beg you. At least accept my apologies. Maybe then Grandpa will change his mind about divorcing me.
I knew it was all about yourself. You contacted me to get to Grandpa to change his mind. This sincerity shtick is not going to cut it. The world's worst mother-in-law to the very end. Very fitting if you ask me. Thanks for wasting my life for 18 years. I'm so glad to cut ties with you once and for all.
Please, Melanie, you've got it all wrong. James left saying he never wanted to see me again. I can't get in touch with him. If my husband leaves, I will lose everything. The shop is as good as gone. This shop was handed down from my mother and father. They protected this place for a generation. I'm sure you understand. Please help me out. Please, Melanie. I'll do anything you say. So please.
Wow, am I imagining things? I've never heard you beg and cry for forgiveness. Actually, I'm shocked. I never thought you had it in you. Ryan was in the hospital for several days, but recovered completely and came home. He's currently getting ready to go off to college. As for my former mother-in-law, she was refusing to consent to the divorce, but finally relented, and the divorce went through recently. The shop she was running was not able to attract potential employees. Who would want to work for her, right? Well, the shop eventually went under and closed. She is currently putting the shop on the market, and now lives in an old, dilapidated apartment somewhere. According to Grandpa, she always purported to be the owner who ran a prosperous shop, but in reality, the shop was in the red. I can sort of understand her predicament now. And about knowingly serving food to an allergic person, that's a crime. We're currently discussing the situation with our lawyer about pressing charges against her. For my former mother-in-law, her current predicament does not look very good. After 18 years of torment, I hope she finally gets what she deserves.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hi, Jacob. I'm at the hospital now. It looks like I'll be here for a few weeks.
What?
I have 2 fractures on my hip.
Your injuries were that bad? You just fell from the stairs, right?
What do you mean, just fell? It was quite dangerous. I was lucky I got away with fractures. It could have been much worse.
Yeah, but were you not paying attention when you were going down? The stairs at my parents' house are not that steep or dangerous.
Are you not worried about me? Because you sound as if you want to say I'm clumsy, rather than care about how I'm currently doing.
I'm worried. I will come see you as soon as I get back from New York.
Fine. You said you'll be back in 3 days?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. I guess I will see you then. Hey, Jacob, I have something to tell you about what happened.
What is it?
This might be very hard for you, but I think it's important that you know. I actually fell down the stairs because of your mother.
What? Why?
I never told you because I was scared it would hurt you too much, but your mother does not like me at all. In fact, she's been very mean to me ever since we got married.
Huh? But you hang out with her all the time. You go see her anytime she calls you over. You were at her house this morning because she invited you, right?
Yes, that's correct. But she calls me over to use me for things. She treats me like I'm her maid. She also complains about how I'm a bad wife. I was even asked how I tricked you into marrying me.
How did you fall down the stairs today, though?
She made me move heavy boxes from upstairs. She piled up one box after another until I couldn't carry anymore. I told her I could have seen anything, but then she said, "Come on, move it," and pushed me.
Penny, it was an accident.
Huh?
Did she really push you? She didn't actually force you down the stairs, did she?
No, but Jacob, I fell down the entire set of stairs.
Yeah, but just because you fell, you can't blame it on my mom. Do you know that she pushed you on purpose? Deliberately to cause you harm?
Well, I don't know for sure, but one thing I know is that there was a push, and from how she has treated me so far, she doesn't like me.
Come on, Penny, you're talking about my mom here. Even if she didn't like you, she would not push you down the stairs. You have to give her a bit more trust. Besides, isn't it normal for a mother-in-law to have some jealousy towards her daughter-in-law? Perhaps she did something to get on her nerves, and so she scolded you? You're probably overreacting.
Jacob, it's been troubling me for months. She has said very nasty things to me and made me very sad. Why can't you be a little sympathetic for your wife?
It's been less than a year since we've gotten married, which means your relationship with my mom has only started. It's inevitable that you have difference in opinions at first, and honestly, just because she said something to you that you didn't like, it's immature to blame your injury on her. It's going a bit too far.
Jacob, it's not scolding, it's bullying. She has kicked me before while I was cleaning the floor.
Kick you? Maybe she wasn't watching where she was going and kicked you accidentally.
I'm telling you this because I don't think that is what happened. She kicked me deliberately.
But you two seem fine when I'm around. You two always talking. Penny, what's gotten into you?
I'm sorry I never told you before, but I didn't because I also thought she was just jealous and that it would go away soon. All I wanted was to get along with her, but I am physically hurt this time because of her, so I don't think getting along with her would ever happen. In fact, I think I'm going to have to stay away from her.
Penny, you should try to understand her feelings.
What? Wait, you think I'm the inconsiderate one here?
The woman has raised me. I have lived with her for years, and I know that she is not the kind of person who would bully someone. She wouldn't let her jealousy drive her mad. Besides, I have never heard her say anything about you, not once. So I am surprised and shocked that you would blame her like this.
I am telling you the truth.
I don't know, Penny. Are you sure you weren't clumsy at all? Is it 100% my mother's fault? You were moving the boxes because you agreed to do so, right?
Yes, but Jacob...
Well then, you can't put the entire blame on my mom. That's just not fair.
You don't believe me, do you?
It's not about what I believe or don't believe. I'm just telling you what I think about your story. But speaking of trust, can you prove that she has been bullying you? Anything to prove it's not all in your head?
Proof? Well, no, I don't. I didn't think I'd be needing proof to make my husband believe me.
If you had proof, I would have no other choice but to believe you. No offense, but maybe it really is all in your head, Penny. Everyone takes things differently, you know? Like, someone could get pissed off about something when another won't even blink. Maybe you're being too sensitive about it. Anyway, I can't say or do much when I've only had one side of the story.
Alright, fine. So be it. I won't talk about this anymore.
Thanks, I'm glad you understand. She's my one and only mother. I hope you get along with her. And like I said, a lot of women have trouble with their in-laws at first, so don't overthink. Penny! My mom has got into an accident!
What? Is she okay?
Thankfully nothing life-threatening, but her arm is broken. She will need to take it easy at home for a while.
Oh, well, I am glad she is okay.
I'm sorry to ask you this, but I need you to take care of her. She broke her right arm, so she can't do anything on her own, and her left arm is also injured. She should be discharged from the hospital in 2 days.
Wait a second. You want me to take care of her?
Yeah, because I have work. But you don't, and your hip is fully healed now, isn't it? Do you have a problem?
Yes, I do. I don't want to take care of her at all.
Huh? Penny, do you still think she pushed you down the stairs? I thought we cleared this out.
No, I only said that I would stop talking about it because you wouldn't believe me. And I told you I will have to stay away from her. I think it's too dangerous for me to be around her. It's best we don't see each other anymore.
She did us a favor to come over to her house and cook her meals while you couldn't get out of bed. Now she is injured and needs help. But you won't return the favor? Besides, you never mentioned any further trouble with her these past couple of months. Or have you not just told me of the horrible deeds of my mom?
First of all, I never asked her to cook meals for us. And no, she has not done anything to me recently. But that is because you told her how I felt about her. I can't believe you told her exactly what I said. Are you out of your mind?
I needed to confirm her side of the story. I didn't think I did anything wrong.
You are too blind to even realize what you have done. Let's say, hypothetically, that what I told you is true, which would mean that she's acting to be a nice mother-in-law when you are around. Can you guess what happens when you are not around? She could treat me even worse for telling on you. I mean, think about it. Who would simply admit they are bullying someone, huh?
You're being dramatic about it again. I've had enough of your evil delusions. If you want me to believe, then give me the proof.
I was hoping to get proof, but thanks to you, I lost the chance now that she's been warned. Anyway, I can't help her. If you think she needs help, then you should take days off and go help her yourself.
Penny, I really don't want to say this to you, but if I don't work, you don't get to live the way you do now. You cannot give me that kind of attitude. And you're hurting my feelings again. Do you realize how mean it is for you to talk badly of my mother?
I never wanted to say such things to you in the first place, but there's a possibility that she actually harmed me. I was put in the hospital for God's sake, so I wasn't going to hide it from you anymore. I trusted you. I told you because I thought you would believe me and protect me. It took me courage to tell you the truth, but you just brushed it off.
Whatever. You will help my mom. You are her daughter-in-law, so you have no choice.
I will not be taking care of someone who has bullied me, no.
Listen to me, I'm not asking you, I'm ordering you. I don't care about what you want or don't want to do. If you can't listen to me, then it will be difficult to continue our marriage.
Seriously? You want to get a divorce because of your mom?
Not because of her, but because of you. Stop blaming her for everything. You know, I think I get it now. It's not that she dislikes you. It's you that dislikes her.
Enough. I will absolutely not be taking care of her. Period. I will do as I please. I am not listening to you.
Penny! You will not disobey me. You will be looking after her. You must go to her house when she is discharged from the hospital. I would not take no for an answer. Penny, where are you? My mom just called me. You're supposed to be helping her. Why haven't you arrived at her house yet?
I told you I won't go. I firmly refuse. Besides, if she can use her smartphone to call you, then she must be doing just fine. Lucky she was discharged in a couple of days, unlike me.
Not that I believe what you told me, but even if her bullying were true, you need to let it go. If you don't go over her house now, I am divorcing you. I'm serious. I can cut all ties with you right now.
Are you sure?
Yes!
Then let's get divorced today.
What?
You see, I reached the same conclusion too. The only way left for us is a divorce. I already spoken to my lawyer and she prepared me the documents already. I have it sitting in front of me, waiting for us to sign.
What? Hold on a second. You're joking, right?
Huh? No, of course I'm not. You just said you wanted to divorce me too. See, you sent, I can cut all ties with you right now.
That's because you refuse to take care of my mother.
Yes, and I told you I am not looking after her, not even for a minute. So like you suggested, let's get a divorce.
You can't be serious.
Oh, but you were, a minute ago. You just said, remember? So if we are both serious about it, let's jump right in.
I wasn't going to as long as you agreed to take care of my mother.
For the millionth time, no. Give me a break, Jacob. No means no. How many times more do I have to tell you?
Penny, please. You don't seriously want to get a divorce over something so silly.
What? Have I been messaging another Jacob? Because as far as I can remember, you were the one who first brought up the term divorce. And now you're telling me I'm silly?
Yeah, but...
And for the record, it's not something so silly. Nothing is funny about her bullying me. I have tolerated her treatment towards me because I cared about you, and because I wanted to try to get along with her. I tried, but nothing helped because she is not interested in getting along with me. Then I got seriously injured because she pushed me down the stairs. I finally reached out to you for help, but you didn't believe me. In fact, you made it sound like I was accusing her, as if I was the cause of everything that happened between me and her.
That's because I have never seen her do anything to you.
I want to be clear with you, Jacob. I am leaving you, not because of your mother, because you wouldn't take your wife seriously, because you don't have any respect for me or care for me. This is all on you.
Wait a second, let's not rush things.
Why not?
I don't know what to do right now. Please, give me a minute.
Why do you not know what to do? You said it, Jacob. You said you would cut all ties with me. It's too late to take back what you said. I am leaving. My decision is rock hard. I will leave my lawyer's contact on the table. Let us know when you've read through the divorce papers.
Wait, Penny! Let's talk when I get back. We should both calm down and have a constructive conversation.
No, thank you. I am not changing my mind. I want a divorce because I can't stay married to you anymore.
I'm sorry, I wasn't serious when I mentioned divorce. I only wanted to get you to take care of my mom.
So you threatened me. You thought I would go to your mom's house and care for her if you hung the word in front of me. You mistook me for a scared, petty housewife who would do anything to save her living.
No, that's not true.
Oh, I think it is. Those words came out because that is what you believe. Well, guess what? I will not be a slave to you or your mother. I refuse to do anything I don't feel comfortable doing, and I will not hold back to continue an unhealthy marriage. I didn't marry you to depend on you anyway. What the hell do you take me for?
I never should have said it the way I did. I'm sorry.
See? You still don't get it. It's not about the way you said it. I can't believe I have to word everything out for you. But as a final gift to you, I will enlighten you. Do you remember what you said to me when I was hospitalized? You said I should try to understand her feelings. You also asked if I wasn't being clumsy at all. Can you even imagine how I felt reading those words on my hospital bed? Words coming from no other than my own husband. And then you go on and tell her everything I said to you. You are the worst husband any person could ever have.
I might have been inconsiderate.
No, you're wrong. You just tried to ignore everything. I think you always knew something was going on. Your mom never said anything mean to me in front of you, but you couldn't have not seen what she would serve me at the dinner table when you two had nice full meals. You couldn't have noticed how she would never buy me anything back from her trips, while she got you a bag full every time. You pretended not to notice because you didn't want any trouble.
I thought she was favoring me because I'm her son.
Would you be able to say the same if my parents ever treated you the way she's been treating me? Let's say, if everyone had steak but you only got mashed potatoes, are you sure you can simply say, oh, it's because I'm not their son?
I'm sorry. I thought trouble with in-laws were nothing rare, you know? Like it's something any family goes through.
So you thought I should just stay quiet and tolerate it like everybody else, even if I get pushed down the stairs. Oh, right. You think I fell on my own because I don't have any proof.
Penny, I'm sorry. I will pay better attention from now on. I will treat you with respect. You don't have to take care of my mother if you don't want to. I was wrong about everything. Please forgive me.
I don't think so. Like I said, you're the main reason I am leaving. Your mother was awful to me, but you are even worse than her. The things you said and done after hearing what I had to say about your mother did it for me. I now understand that you won't do anything to help or protect me when something happens.
I am so sorry. I was hoping time would solve the problem.
So what? You were going to let me suffer until she died? Wow! I'm glad I'm choosing to divorce you. This must be the best decision I have made in years. I wish I could travel back in time to when I was crying on the hospital bed and tell myself everything would be okay.
Penny, I really don't want to end our marriage over this. How I handled things were very bad, I fully admit it. But it's originally my mom's fault, isn't it? You don't have to see her again, I promise, so please reconsider.
What? Jacob, are you dumb? Have you been paying attention at all? I said this is on you. Your mom created the problem, but you made it 100 times worse. Don't get that wrong. You should write down the line I just sent you so that you don't forget.
I'm truly sorry, please, I don't want a divorce. I'm sorry for hurting you so many times. I'm begging you not to leave me. You can live however you please from now on.
I want to do exactly that. Therefore, leaving you. I don't want a bully in my life, nor a husband who won't believe me. You try to force me to take care of her by threatening me with divorce. I will never get back with an asshole like that. You're wasting my time.
I'm sorry, forgive me, please. I care about you more than anything in this world. I love you from the bottom of my heart.
Cut the crap. Love me? You? If you did, there is no way you could have said those things to me.
I do, I swear. You mean the world to me. You have to believe me, Penny.
How could I? You don't have anything to prove it, do you? It took us months to finalize our divorce, but I was successfully able to cut all ties with Jacob. I wasn't able to make him pay me consolation money, but I was able to win a good portion of the division of assets. Honestly, money aside, I am just happy I got away from the two idiots. I heard from a mutual friend that Jacob and his mom's relationship became hostile due to the divorce. She began to accuse him for not marrying the right woman, and Jacob claimed that she was the whole cause of the divorce. What my mother-in-law did to me was not acceptable, but what I hated most was how Jacob reacted to my story. Although I don't think he is smart enough to understand my reasons for ending our marriage. It will take him another million years to finally understand why his way of thinking is wrong. After I left Jacob, my parents took me in and said I could stay until I got myself back on my feet. It's been nice to be able to take the time to heal from the damages they have caused and be cared by people who actually love me unconditionally. But I don't want to depend on my parents forever, so I've started to look for a job recently. I still feel sick sometimes from remembering the miserable days with Jacob and his mother, but I refuse to let the bad memories take over my life. I have sworn to myself that I will have a better, happier life than the two. After all, that would be the ultimate revenge.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Deep text.
Hey! Do you really think you can get away from me? You're gonna pay for slinging mud in my face! How do you, a mere housewife, plan to bring up a high school kid like Sandy? Give me a break!
The divorce has already gone through for your information. I have nothing further to talk to you about. And I already found a good-paying job. So I plan to put Sandy through college no matter what. And I don't need your help.
You sure don't know anything about real life, do you? Do you even realize the huge pay difference between you and me?
Why did you even contact me? What exactly do you want to say? Spit it out. I don't have all day. To be honest, we just want you gone from our lives. So if you got something to say it for God's sake.
Your income is gonna drop drastically. You do realize that. I hope. I mean, you forget that you are married to a guy who works at a major corporation.
Yeah, a guy who works at a major corporation that had a mistress and played around constantly. What's more, you made us live on a pittance. I even had to work part-time to make ends meet. Yeah, right, a real provider. You never allowed us to enjoy ourselves. To be honest, it was pure misery living with you. When we came home, all you did was treat us like slaves. If the dinner I cooked was not to your liking, you would just dump it in the trash bin. Or you would toss Sandy's homework in the trash out of spite. At the office, you act as though you're a loving father, taking care of your family, putting on this whole fake persona. If people knew the real you, someone who treats his family like garbage, they would be rendered speechless.
But you are garbage! What can I say? A garbage woman and her garbage daughter. That's what you guys are. How else am I supposed to treat you? Yeah, like garbage. Why did you even have to give birth to a girl, for God's sake? At least you could have given me a boy. What's the use in having a girl? What use will she be when she grows up? All these years, I took care of you guys. Gave you a roof over your heads, paid for your meals, clothes, everything. This is what I get in return? Funny. I didn't even have to throw out the trash. The trash left on its own accord. If I knew it would turn out this way, I never should have picked you up off the street. All you had to do was obey my every command and simply do what I told you, but no! You always had some reason to fight back.
How could I not fight back? You cheat on me. You provide us with zero financial support. Who wouldn't react to that? You really have nerve treating women like we were your slaves. You're despicable.
Yeah, well, just keep this in mind. A woman is only useful until she's in her mid-20s. That's it! After that, she's just an old hag. You're way over the limit. There's no use for you in this world anymore. Get that through your pea-brain head of yours. That's why I treat younger women with respect. You, on the other hand, deserve no respect whatsoever. Your expiration date reached its limit a long time ago. You belong in the trash bin.
Is that all you've got to say? Well, have fun with your mistress then. Good riddance.
You bet I will. Unlike you, she's super smart. She never gets angry or complains about a thing. I will be very happy living with her. I should have done this years ago. Why I kept you after the expiration date, I don't know. But this does not mean I forgive you for leaving me. Don't you forget that. I'm not finished with you yet. If you want me to pay child support for Sandy, you better get down on your hands and knees and beg like the tramp you are. And you do that in front of my house. And then I may provide you with a little financial support. I'm sure you need it.
No need for that, we're good to go. We don't want a cent from you. I don't want to ever rely on you or your money. So please, get lost. We don't ever want anything to do with you again. Just leave us be. Goodbye and good riddance. Hey, Sandy, just finished work. I'm getting on the subway. Hey, Mom, just in time. I just walked through the door. I'll get dinner ready right away. Bought some of your favorite pork dumplings on the way. Oh my god, I love those things. Thanks. I'm really sorry. I know you probably just finished school. Making me dinner? You should be studying.
Come on, Mom, don't start again. I'm doing it because I love it, that's all. Don't worry about it. Anyways, you're always working for me. Ever since we left home, I have to pay you back for all you've done for me. So please, let me do at least a little cooking and cleaning, and like I said, I actually kind of enjoy cooking.
Yeah, right, but you're already in college. I mean, you must.
What? What do you mean?
You know, you must have a boyfriend.
Huh? Is that what you're worried about? Don't worry, nobody like that so far. I know a lot of guys at school, but no one special. Besides, if I do find a guy, I will only choose a guy that will accept you. That's how important you are to me, Mom. I'm always here for you, Mom. That will never change, so you better get used to it.
Sandy, you're going to make me cry. How did I end up with such a beautiful daughter? You know what? I'm gonna stop off at that pastry shop downtown and pick up some of those chocolate donuts.
Really? Yes! Okay, Mom, be careful coming home. And could you get me some of those brownies? I love those.
Sure thing, Sandy. Anything for my daughter.
No, wait. Forget what I just said.
Huh? What's the matter? Did I say something wrong?
What am I gonna do? Why? This is not happening. Mom, no, you can't. You can't come home. Just stay away. Don't come home, you hear me? He's in front of the house.
Huh? What do you mean he's in front? Who's he? No way. You don't mean him?
Yeah, it's him. My dad. My ex-dad. He's banging on the door. What am I going to do? The door's gonna break, Mom. He's gonna kick it down. What should I do?
He's at the front door? You're sure it's him? Are you okay, Sandy? No way he's getting in the house, right? Don't you dare let him in, you got that?
I got both locks secured, and the curtains are closed. He probably doesn't know I'm here. Maybe he'll give up and go away. I doubt he'll break in. He hasn't seen me. He'll give up, but... Mom, stay away from the house for now. When he's gone, I'll text you again. Hang tight. Just stay at a cafe or something for now. I'll be in touch.
I can't do that. I can't have you stay there all alone with that lunatic outside. I just can't do it. When Bob gets angry, he goes nuts. He's deranged. He goes totally mental when he doesn't have his way.
He'll get way more blitzo if you see him face to face. Better you stay away. I can handle this. You know I'm right, Mom. I mean, he would never hurt his own daughter. But you? He hates you. He'll go Looney Tunes if he sees you. He's banging on the door and screaming your name. Stay away, Mom, you hear me? That guy's wacky for sure. You got it, Mom?
Sandy, just call the cops right away. Better to be on the safe side. Call the cops. If it's nothing, that's that. Please, just call them.
Calling the police won't do shit. Remember when we called the police before you got divorced? Remember what they said after they arrived? They said it was just a family quarrel and told us to work it out. And just left us with this deranged psycho. You do remember that, right? No way I'm calling those useless jerks. I'll never forgive that cop for how he treated us.
Yeah, well, that cop was old, probably retired by now. The younger cops are way more understanding, especially with young and pretty girls like yourself. I know, I was pissed off at that cop too, but I think things have changed since then. Won't hurt to call them just in case. I would rather you call them than regret it later on, so please.
All right, Mom. I'll call them. Hold it a second, Mom. Looks like he's talking to someone outside.
Who? What's up? Answer me! Who's he talking to?
I think it's the neighbor. I've seen him around. I think it's that guy down the street. Mr. Bannon, was it? It looks like he's warning him. He looks a bit angry.
Huh? Really? I hope Mr. Bannon is okay. You really should just call the cops. Bob is off his rocker, right? Never know what he'll do. Better safe than sorry. Call the police right away.
No, wait. It looks fine. Dad looks like he's apologizing to Mr. Bannon. Actually, looks kinda worried.
Huh? Really? I know Dad always dupes people at the office and around his neighborhood with his good guy image, but around us? Around our neighbors? He's always pretty rude to them. He's sure not the type to curry favor with our friends.
Yeah, you're right. If he didn't care, he'd just ignore the guy and keep banging away and screaming. I wonder if he knows Mr. Bannon. Holy crap! He just got down on his hands and knees! Looks like he's begging him for forgiveness? What the hell is going on? Who is this Mr. Bannon? What is he? A cop or something? I want to get out there and check it out.
Don't you dare! I know Bob. He'll hit the roof once he sees you. Just hang on for a bit longer, I'm almost home. I'll talk to them, I'll find out what's going on, so don't you dare go out there.
Hey! Never thought you were acquainted with the former CEO of our company. Small world, huh? I mean, who would have thought?
What the hell is wrong with you? You come charging over to my house, bang on the door, scared Sandy half to death. What the hell do you want?
I was just thinking. We're forever connected somehow. Don't you think? You know Mr. Bannon? Can't just chalk it up to mere coincidence.
Well, if you would have just forgotten about us and just left us be, we never would have had any further connection. Besides, there is no connection now or ever in the future.
Come on, relax, Carol. I just wanted to show you a little respect. Figure we can talk it over and make things right again. You know, start from scratch again. What do you say?
Did you fall off your chair and hit your head recently? Do you really expect us to live with you again after how you treated us? Do you really want garbage like us back in your life? You are totally mental. If I was a cat and had 9 lives, I would reject you 9 times.
Come on, don't be that way. Let's let bygones be bygones. Let's start on a blank page. Like when we first met. I was young and hot-headed. I'm not the old Bob anymore. My thinking has changed. You should call me Robert from now on. That old Bob is gone for good. What do you say? I really regret how I treated you. I understand that now.
How many years do you think I spent watching you put on that fake persona? You can't fool me anymore. I've had it with your deception. The only reason you're being this way is probably because you found out that Mr. Bannon was the former CEO of your company. And that he's my neighbor. That's it, isn't it? I can read you like a book, Bob. For your information, we have no intention of starting over with you again. Not now, not ever. Sandy and I would be forever grateful for you if you would just leave us be and get the hell out of our lives. Thank you very much.
Okay, I got it. I won't bother you any longer. But could you just do me one favor? Could you tell Mr. Bannon that you forgave? That there are no hard feelings? You do that, and I will be gone from your lives. You know him pretty well. He seems to be fond of you. I'm sure he'll listen to you. I tried to contact him, but he's blocked me. He won't see me. You're my only chance. Come on! For old time's sake.
He comes to my home, bang on my door, scare my daughter, disrupt this peaceful neighborhood. You brought this onto yourself. Mr. Bannon came rushing over here because he heard you yelling and screaming. Anyway, you and I are complete strangers. We're not married anymore. That ended years ago. You should be grateful I didn't call the police. They could have had you arrested. Did you even realize that?
Yeah, I know that. But the fact remains that, well, if you don't help me out, I may get fired from my job. I made my way up the company. I recently made section manager. You understand, right? I can't lose this job. You gotta help me out.
Why are you even asking me? I have nothing to do with all this. Don't come groveling for help. It's actually a little offensive. You brought this all on yourself. What's more, when we got divorced years ago, you told the company that it was me who cheated on you. How could you? All those years, you treated us with such disdain.
Well, I couldn't help that. I had to maintain a proper image at work.
Wait a sec. I know why you came back to us. I bet your woman, the one you had the affair with, I bet she dropped you, am I right? I thought she was smarter than me. Well, it seems she wasn't. If she was as smart as you say, she would have dropped you before getting married. You haven't changed one bit. That mouth of yours is still working overtime, I see.
I just came back to help you guys out. I felt pity for you.
Oh yeah? Well, that's so nice of you. But we don't want or need your help. I mean, how could we accept anything from a loser like you? So, no way I'm going to explain anything to Mr. Bannon. Get yourself out of your own pile of garbage. Oh yeah? Just so you know, I told Mr. Bannon the real reason we got divorced. No matter how you tried to concoct some far-fetched story, it's too late. He knows the truth.
Come on, Carol. Have a little pity, would ya? We've been together for more than 15 years. There must have been something there. You must have cared back then. Come on, help me out here. Tell Mr. Bannon it was all a misunderstanding.
I will never forget what you did to us. Treating us with such animosity. And you want pity? Well, I'm not giving it. I didn't realize Mr. Bannon was the former CEO of your company, but I knew that after he retired, he worked as a volunteer to help out single mothers. And this house we're living in, he owns it, and he lets us live here for a fraction of the real cost. Mr. Bannon is a kind and considerate person. He's done so much for me and Sandy. I cannot lie to him, and I won't.
Give me a break! My whole career is on the line here. I get fired and I'm done. How am I supposed to find a job now, at this age?
Why should I worry about some stranger's life or career? Besides, our lives are in jeopardy too. Our lives, Sandy and mine. This is way more important than some no-good cheating ex-husband, and nobody to us. If I give in now, we would only go back to being your slave and treated like trash.
Slave, huh? I wouldn't go that far. I never treated you guys like slaves. Besides, a woman should obey his husband. It's always been like that.
Are you still going on about a wife obeying the husband? Are you still living in the 1950s? Do you ever say that in front of people at work or to Mr. Bannon's face? I bet you don't. Yeah, I figured as much. All you care about is how people perceive you at work, how the girl sees you. You're always putting on this fake persona. You're despicable.
What good would it do to tell him about what a crappy wife and useless daughter I have? What good would it do me? The only reason you exist is because of guys like me. Guys who can provide for you and protect you. You need guys like me. Wake up and smell the coffee, would you? Just do whatever I say. You'll thank me in the end.
Wow, I thought you lived in the 50s. Dark Ages is more like it. Where have you been for the past few decades? We're strangers now. I don't want you ever contacting us again, you got that? For the last time, goodbye.
Hold on a second! I'm begging for your help! You can't even have an ounce of pity for me? Come on, think of the 15 years we were together. We had some good days, right? You're not that stupid, are you? So, you're okay with me being gone? You sure are gonna regret this. Mark my words! You'll never be able to do anything without me!
Huh? You still think you're above it all? You're hopeless! Sandy and I don't need you. You've treated us like garbage for years. But I've realized that the worst piece of garbage in the world is you. That's why we dumped you. Can you ever understand that, for God's sake? That's right, Bob. You're the piece of trash. You belong in the trash bin of humanity. Well, after that line encounter, I heard he was transferred to some office way out in the country somewhere. Mr. Bannon, being the former CEO, could have insisted that he be fired, but he was afraid that if he did fire him, he could take revenge on me and Sandy. He wanted to avoid that at all costs. So he opted to get him transferred to some far-off subsidiary. As for Bob, he got bumped down to a regular staff member. We all know Bob's got a huge ego, so I'm not sure how he would take it. Not sure if his pride could take such shame. But then again, that status of working for a major corporation, he definitely didn't want to part with that. I bet he put on that fake smile of his, grit his teeth, and took it. I heard that Mr. Bannon was also brought up by a single mom, and so after retirement he volunteered to help single mothers in need. I was fortunate enough to live in his neighborhood, and he and his group helped us out, providing us with discounted housing and medical help when needed. I would never have gotten by without Mr. Bannon's help. If Mr. Bannon hadn't shown up when he did, you never know what that creep would have done to us. We owe him dearly for coming to our rescue. Of course, we wanted to call the police and press charges, but it seems that they only act after some drastic incident happens and not before. Besides, even if the police took him away, he would not be gone for long. He'd probably be out in a few hours. Then what? He'd definitely come right back to taunt us. So, we figured this would be the best punishment for him. As for the woman he was having an affair with, well, apparently she dumped him and found a way nicer guy than Bob. I heard she recently got married. Well, looks like she threw out the trash too. I guess he came back to us because he had nowhere else to go. Nobody would put up with his bullshit. I was furious he would even think we'd take him back. But I feel this is truly the end of this relationship. As long as the company doesn't fire him and keeps him away from us, he'll face up to what he did as long as he can keep his job. Any contact with us and he loses his job. That'll keep him in line. So now Sandy and I can finally relax and get on with our lives. He was a garbage husband, but one thing I will thank him for is that he gave me a beautiful daughter. She is the most precious thing in my life.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hi, Elle. I just received your gift in the mail today. Thank you so much for the beautiful diary. The leather cover is stunning. I finally understand why you stopped me from buying a boring notebook at the store the last time I saw you.
Hi, Uncle Adam. Happy birthday. I'm glad you liked my present. I just wanted to make sure you get a special one. Because I know how important it is for you to keep a diary. And now the diary will remind you of me every day.
I sure will. Any gift from you is special, but this one was also very thoughtful of you. Thank you so much. You are the closest thing I have to a daughter. You will always be special to me, Elle.
Thanks, Uncle. You're special to me, too. You're like a father to me. Aside from my other dad.
That's very sweet of you, honey. But don't say that in front of your dad. You did before and he became really jealous.
I know. That was pretty funny.
For you, maybe. Anyway, how are you these days? I heard from your dad that you moved in with your in-laws. How's that going for you?
I did, a couple months ago. Only temporary, though.
I see. What made you make that move? Isn't it hard to have to take care of your in-laws? Or are they so nice that you don't mind spending time with them?
Well, not really. I thought they were really nice at first. But once we decided to move in with them, things kind of changed. Oh, but, please don't tell any of this to my dad. I don't want him to think I have bad things to say about my in-laws.
I know, honey. I won't spill a word to your dad. I understand relationships with in-laws can be very sensitive, but you shouldn't let them treat you badly.
Yes, I agree.
Are they bothering you in any way? Your mother-in-law isn't bullying you or anything, is she?
Well, not particularly. I think she just loves her son too much, you know? Like, she thinks I took him from her or something. So she'll say things to me that are unpleasant, I guess. Or she would forget to prepare my meal at the dinner table. Just small things like that.
Elle, that's not a small thing. She's toxic. She can't treat you like that. What does Wayne do when she does such things to you? He shouldn't be letting his mother treat you badly.
Oh, Wayne is great. He defends me always. So don't worry about that part. And I think it's just her personality. She's just a jealous person. I try not to worry about it too much.
If I were you, I'd move out of that house in a heartbeat. You shouldn't be anywhere near toxic people. It's a waste of breath.
Wayne thinks it was a bad move for us too. But we only moved in because Wayne's relocation got extended. We found out he wasn't going anywhere after we told our landlord we were moving out of our previous apartment. And then his parents found out our situation and asked us to move in with them until Wayne got his relocation.
It all happened at what seems to be imperfect timing, huh?
Exactly.
Still, you should have seen a red flag.
I know. She begged Wayne, telling him how much it would mean for her to be living together, even if it was temporary. Then she really missed him since we lived a bit far from them. That's why we ended up saying yes. Besides, we were expecting Wayne to get his official notice to relocate in a month or so. Anyway, we hope to move out soon. We pay them rent every month, which is fine. But it's too silly for us to keep paying them when we don't even feel that comfortable around them, you know? We would rather spend money on a comfortable home for ourselves. But she doesn't know that we're planning to leave.
I think you and Wayne would be much better off if you move out. Life is too short to waste any time on bullies.
I couldn't agree more, Uncle. I will try to distance myself from them. I'm sure it won't go on forever, though. She was never mean to me before. I think she just gets jealous when we're together in front of her. She should get herself back again once we're out of the house, because then she won't have to witness her son spending time with his wife every day. Okay, enough complaining for now. Anyway, I'm doing alright, so please don't worry. Sorry if my update has annoyed you. But I feel much better now that I've told you. Thanks for listening.
Anytime, Mel, anytime. I'm the one who asked you how you were doing anyway. I hope your situation gets better as soon as possible, but like I said, you really shouldn't be wasting any time on bullies. Try to get out of there as soon as possible. Make sure Wayne understands your situation too, and if anything happens, you can tell me anytime.
Hello? Elle? Where the hell are you? Why haven't you come back from grocery shopping already? You better not be procrastinating out there. Hi, Deanne. I'm sorry. I just finished shopping. I will stop by the dry cleaner next and be on my way back. You are so slow. If I were you, I'd be back in an hour. Get moving. You have other chores to take care of. God, why can't you do anything right? You don't know how to shop, clean, or cook, or anything. By the way, you should get your tasting checked out. The food you prepared last night was so thick in flavor. I will not tolerate bad cooking on my table again. Oh, sorry. I will go light on the sauce tonight. Duh, you better. Or else you're going to get everyone sick. Wait a second. Did you do it on purpose? Because Wayne is gone and on his business trip? You're doing it to bully me while he's out of town, aren't you? Of course not, Deanne. I bet you are. I never feel any kindness from you. My husband agrees with me, you know. You think less of us because we're your in-laws. What? I never thought about that. I care about you as much as I care for my own parents. Please don't say such things. Well, if you mean what you say, you should be showering us with treats. Perhaps take us somewhere nice and show us that you care. Where do you want to go? Somewhere quiet and relaxing. With lots of nature, like the woods or by the lake. I've been wanting to go on vacation with Wayne for a while. It would be a terrific treat for me. That sounds nice. You know how your mother posts pictures on the SNS? Yes, she started recently. Looks like she's having a good time. What about it, though? Well, her post showed up when I was on my smartphone the other day. And I saw her picture from when she visited your family's cottage. I see. I've always wanted to stay at a gorgeous cottage with my family. Why didn't you ever tell me about this place? I never knew you had people in your family who can own such beautiful property like that. Oh, well, I guess I do. You should ask them if we can stay at the cottage. I don't know, Deanne. The cottage is really far from here. It will be such a long drive, like 5 or 6 hours. Well, I'm sure my husband won't mind driving. The men can take turns. If that's not enough, all of us will take turns. It's not a big problem. You will ask them, won't you? I guess. Why not? Don't get your hopes up too much, though. What? Why? Are we not good enough for your family? Your mother can stay there, but we can't? No, that's not what I mean. The owners usually rent the cottage out to visitors. It's their business, so it's not like we can't go anytime we want to. I'm sure they can squeeze us in somewhere. But if you tell me they won't, I will assume you don't want us to stay at your family's cottage. That we are not worth your effort to ask them. So consider this a test to prove just how much you care for us. Deanne, I don't own the cottage. I will try, but I can't promise anything. Don't give me any excuses. You will get them to say yes, no matter what. Oh, and I almost forgot. You need to pick up some dog food for Bingo. It will run out after his dinner tonight. He needs the organic one sold at the vet's. The vet? That's on the other side of town, right? Yes, so? Do you have a problem with that? No, of course not. I will go get some right away. Good. But be quick, you are already late. Deanne, do you know when you'll be back home? It's been a while since you left to go get your car washed. Is there a line at the car wash? And Bingo's sitter hasn't arrived yet. Can you give me their number? I bet they're lost, so I'll call them. No one is coming to get Bingo, honey. Huh? Elle, you are so oblivious. What? What are you talking about? It's been over an hour since we've been to get our car washed. Yes, that's why I'm checking in with you. We're not coming home to pick you up. We have left for the cottage without you. You will stay behind with the dog. Huh? But I have the keys. No, you don't. I took them from your bag before I left. Now I have the keys and know the address to the cottage. We are good to go. Your services are no longer needed. I can't wait to see Wayne there. The three of us will enjoy our quality family time at the cottage. I am so excited to be able to vacation with my son, but without any nuisance. You've planned this all along, haven't you? I was never included in this trip. Of course you weren't. Remember, I said family vacation. So I'm not family to you? No. You have your own job as Bingo's sitter. You need to take good care of him. Fine, so be it then. Don't even think about telling Wayne, or else you will never be included in this family. Do I make myself clear? I will tell him you couldn't make it because you are sick. Surely you understand. We just want to have a good time with our son. Right, honey? If you truly care, and if you really want to be a part of this family, you will obey. I get it. I won't tell Wayne. Oh, good, you understand. I'm so glad you get it, for once. You will stay home and take care of the dog. Make sure he doesn't ruin the house while we're gone. Perhaps you can use this opportunity to clean the house too. If you can do those two things right, then maybe I will consider accepting you into our family. So remember what I said and get cracking.
Elle, have you arrived at the cottage?
I think so.
What do you mean you think so? How is it? You haven't been there for a while now, have you? Are your in-laws liking it too?
Well, I don't really know because I was kind of left behind. Because I apparently have a job to do, which is to take care of the dog. He's keeping me good company, though.
Huh? What the hell? They made you stay to take care of the dog? You invited them to the cottage, though, not the other way around.
They were never going to take me. It was all planned. They told me they were getting the car washed before heading to the cottage. They said they'd be back to pick me up, but they never did. It was a lie, and I didn't know.
Jesus, Elle, how could they do that to you? I only agreed to let your family use the cottage because you asked. And now they have left you?
I am so sorry, Uncle Adam. I was very stupid not to realize in the first place.
Don't apologize, it's not your fault. I have gone too far to use you like this. What the hell is Wayne doing? Where is he?
He doesn't know anything. He's been on a long business trip for the past couple of weeks. He is headed straight to the cottage from the airport, so he doesn't know his parents left me. And Diane told me not to say anything to him. She said that I need to obey her if I want her to consider me as family.
Elle, sweetheart, is that what you really want? To get acknowledged by toxic in-laws?
No, but me fighting them won't make things any better. And we're moving out soon. I don't want to cause any more trouble.
What does your father-in-law do?
What? He's in sales. He works for a brand that makes office supplies, I think. Why are you asking me this?
Tell me the name of his company, and also Wayne's number. As a courtesy, I will let him know what's about to go down.
Uncle Adam? What are you thinking?
No one messes with my girl. They will get what they deserve. I will not let him get away with this. And Elle, even if you move out, I don't think your mother-in-law is the type of person who will stop tormenting you. She will continue to do so, every chance she gets, no matter where you are. So, she needs to learn the hard way, that this all stops now.
You are right. She won't stop. I'll talk to Wayne. He needs to know what she's done to me. I will also tell my in-laws how I feel about the way they treat me. How they hurt my feelings all along. Not that I think they would listen to anything I say.
You should tell them anyway. And something needs to be done so that they won't bother you again. Oh boy, I've never been so glad to have some power in the world of business.
Uncle, what are you going to do?
I won't do anything that would get you in trouble. I'm just gonna add some spice to this situation. Don't mind me, though. You go on and tell them that you won't take any more crap.
Oh my god, Elle. Your uncle is the CEO of one of the most famous firms in this state? His firm is my husband's biggest client. Yes, he is. He's a very powerful man. Why didn't we know about this? Why didn't you tell us? If we've known that you were his niece, we never would have left you behind. My uncle may be a CEO, but I'm just an ordinary housewife. Please don't mind me. How can we not? This is unbelievable. He is threatening to cut his deal with my husband's company. Do you know how hard he worked to close the deal with your uncle's firm? My husband's reputation is ruined. Or worse, he could lose his job.
Oh, is that so?
Wayne just arrived and told us what's going on. Your uncle is enraged about how we left you behind to use his cottage.
I guess my uncle couldn't control his temper after all.
This is not funny, it is very serious. Listen, Elle. I am sorry for how we treated you since you've moved in with us. I apologize deeply. So, can you please ask your uncle not to terminate business with my husband's company?
You want me to ask?
Who else can talk to him?
Well, Diane, I have put a lot of effort into trying to build a good relationship with you. But I've learned in the past several months that no matter what I do, nothing will ever satisfy you. Nothing I do will ever be enough. You simply dislike me.
What? No, that is not true. I have liked you always.
Well, from my perspective, there was not a single moment that I felt you liked me. Wayne agrees too. But it got worse every time he tried to talk to you about your attitude towards me. You would become furious and bully me even more. There is not one episode of you being kind to me, ever, since we began living together. I really wanted to be your friend, Diane. I really did. But too bad. It was all meaningless.
It's not meaningless. We are good friends. In fact, I have always been very impressed by you. You always get everything done perfectly, and you are never fazed. Even when I was tough on you, you have always been respectful.
Oh, wow. Well, I think you're lying to me again. But sure, I am glad if I at least have been useful for you. So what, though?
We will be better friends from now on. Right now, your father-in-law is very upset. And you know, he never actually did anything to you.
No, he didn't. Because he does whatever you say. But I think ignoring what is going on is as bad as bullying. He always knew you were bullying me, but he didn't stop you or help me. To me, that means you two were in it together.
That usually calm, quiet man is about to burst with anger. He told me it's my fault if he ever loses his career.
You brought the situation upon yourselves.
I admit we have been very cold to you. We would like to formally apologize for our actions. We will never do anything to hurt you again. So please, Elle, give us a chance. What can we do for you to forgive us?
Well, let me see. For starters, perhaps you can mow the grass around the cottage before you leave. And clean all the windows.
You want me to clean the cottage? I thought this cottage gets regular housekeeping services.
You're staying there for free. I'm sure you're grateful enough to help keep the cottage nice.
Okay, fine, sure. I will do it. I mean, I will love to do it. You will forgive us once we're done with those two tasks?
Hell no. I have much more conditions for you. You will take on half of the housework until we move out. I will not let you treat me like a slave anymore. And once we move out of your house, we are never living under the same roof ever again. You will also not be permitted inside our new home.
What? I'm not invited to your house? How will I see my son then?
If you want to see Wayne, you will have to ask him to come to you. If you can, that is.
He is ready to disown us right now. He will never come to see us. If I'm not allowed to visit your house, I will never see my own son. You have to help me see him.
Well, why is he ready to disown you, Diane? Because you've mistreated me, correct? So why are you asking me, of all people, to help you see him? It doesn't make any sense.
But, you know what? You are right about everything. I will accept everything you say. I will obey you from now on. So please, tell your uncle that everything has been solved. Tell him you have forgiven us and that we are friends now.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Think about it? You're not going to forgive us? Will you not talk to your uncle? Please.
I will consider forgiving you. But don't get your hopes up too much.
Come on, Elle. Please don't be so stubborn. I know you care about us. We are your family, aren't we?
Don't make me laugh, Diane. You're the one who said I'm not your family. Don't you remember? You just said it yesterday when you left me with your poor dog.
I'm sorry. I really am deeply sorry. What I said to you was wrong. I take it back. I was just jealous, you see. Wayne cares about you so much. I was feeling hurt because it felt like he was always on your side and never mine. It was stupid of me to be jealous of you. But I never really meant that you're not family.
It felt like a lot more than jealousy. It felt like hatred to me. And you sounded pretty clear about how you felt about me.
Elle, I am so sorry. We are old. If my husband loses his career, we won't survive. I know you are too nice to let us die on the streets. Please, you have to help us. I am begging you.
What happens to you guys after this depends on your actions. I will not have any empathy because no matter what you say, I don't consider you as my family. So you better get cracking and do as I say. If you don't, well, then I guess I'll have to assume I'm not worth your effort. So consider this a test to prove how much you care for me. My in-laws obeyed and made sure the cottage was fully maintained before they came back home. After returning, Diane was so scared to take me off that she became cautious not to do anything wrong around me. It was particularly funny in the kitchen because every time I was in there cooking, she would slowly come up to me and offer to take over everything that I was doing. I had barely touched anything in the kitchen during my last few weeks in their house. Wayne's father, paranoid that he would lose his job, became suddenly nice to me too. The way they changed their attitude was rather entertaining. Overall, they both kept their distance from me as much as possible and handled their own chores, which was a huge relief for me. It stayed that way until Wayne and I left the house shortly after. Thankfully, we were able to find a lovely home away from them. When they left behind to use my uncle's cottage, I initially thought I would be satisfied enough if I just told them they were mistreating me and that I would no longer take it. But now that I think about it, my uncle was probably right. Diane would have continued to bully me even after I told them to stop, or even if we moved out. Thanks to my uncle and his power, though, I don't have to worry about her coming to bullying me ever again. Now that they are not around, I'm able to enjoy my life again. I never had time for myself when I lived with the in-laws, because I was required to do all the housework. I tried to answer their demands in hope of being accepted into the family, but I now realize that I shouldn't have wasted my time for bullies. I began to work from home again, which has helped me gain confidence and feel more secure. By the way, Uncle Adam is an intelligent, moral businessman who understands his boundaries. He never would have used his power to get my father-in-law fired. Uncle Adam only told Wayne to tell his father that he knows about the deal between their company. They just let their imagination run wild after that. I'm assuming they panicked because deep down they knew they were mistreating me and assumed that my uncle could use it against them. Understanding how bullies react, my uncle assumed their guilty conscience would quickly take over and switch to self-protection mode, leading them to frantically apologize to me. And boy, did he ever guess right. Wayne says his parents don't need to know the truth, so I am sure they will continue to be afraid of me and my uncle until retirement. Wayne should be getting his official notice for an overseas assignment soon. When he does, I will go with him, and we will be even farther from them than we are now. I am glad we'll be out of their reach, so that I don't have to worry about them showing up on my front door. My experience with Wayne's parents really taught me to use time on people that truly matter. No matter where I am in the future, I am sure this life lesson will follow. And I know I will be living a happy life with only the people I care about.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Mia, I have a little favor to ask of you tomorrow. I need you to take me somewhere in the car just after noon.
Hi, Agatha. It's nice to hear from you. I'm really sorry. I have plans tomorrow afternoon, so I won't be able to do that. I'll be free in the evening, so how about I come and pick you up then?
Plans? What on earth is a stay-at-home housewife doing making plans?
Yes, I have plans.
Well, in that case, you'll postpone those plans until next week. My shopping trip is far more important than anything you could have going on in your life.
You want me to take you out shopping?
That's right. I won a gift voucher at the last neighborhood watch meeting. Things this exciting never usually happen to me, so I thought I'd make the most of it and head over to the shopping mall that recently got built in Peepstown.
Those vouchers are usually valid for quite a long time. Have you checked the small print on the back? Besides, Peepstown is a 2-hour drive. I'm happy to take you, but I can't do it tomorrow. Can we take a rain check?
No, I want to go tomorrow. I usually never win at these things. I've got a spring in my step and I want to claim my prize while the excitement is still fresh in my mind. You understand that, don't you?
Sure I do, but... Look, Agatha, I'd love to take you, but I just can't. I'm really sorry. I'll take you another time, I promise.
Oh dear Mia, how very disappointing. Whatever are we going to do with you? Did you forget what I told you? I hope you haven't forgotten how lucky a poverty-stricken high school dropout like you is to be married to my high-earning Harvard graduate like my son. In spite of your unfortunate background, in my infinite kindness, I said I'd be willing to acknowledge your marriage if you worked your very hardest to win my approval. Did you forget?
No, I didn't forget.
Me and you are going to drift further and further apart if you continue to refuse to help me when I need you to. Is that what you want?
Agatha, please. I mean this with the utmost respect. But just because I want to win your approval doesn't mean I'll do whatever you ask me to at a moment's notice, sacrificing my personal life in the process. I want you to acknowledge me as your son's wife, not your chauffeur.
Don't get an attitude with me, young lady. Your suitability as my son's wife is exactly what I'm asking you to prove to me. If making him happy was your #1 priority, you'd do whatever it took to contribute to the well-being of the family as a whole, not just affairs within your own home. Supporting your mother-in-law is supporting your husband, and supporting your husband is your job as a wife.
But I have unavoidable plans tomorrow. I'm really, really sorry, but please, can we reschedule?
Oh my, why do you have to be so stubborn? How much clearer do I have to make it that I want to go tomorrow?
Sorry.
My son is an elite high earner. There's not a woman on this planet who wouldn't be proud to have him on her arm. You hit the jackpot by landing a guy like him. You should be counting your lucky stars he was kind enough to marry someone so much further down the social ladder than himself. If he had any sense about him, he wouldn't have looked at you twice. In a fair world, the best someone like you would be able to get is an overweight store clerk, or maybe a homeless drug addict. In spite of that, much to my misfortune, he married you. Now ask yourself, who was it who raised that lovely, kind husband of yours?
You.
That's right, me. Which is why my word is law. You're intelligent enough to understand that, aren't you, dear? You should know that my son is a good boy and he'll do whatever I say. Well, apart from marrying you, obviously. But that's the only time he ever disobeyed me. I don't know what got into him, if I'm honest. Just what does he see in you? I could understand the lack of educational history if you were gorgeous, but no, you don't even have that going for you.
You're free to say what you like about me, but I can't answer that. Why don't you ask him?
What's the point? Even if I did ask him, the answer wouldn't be anything I could agree with. Anyway, the bottom line here is that my shopping trip is your #1 priority tomorrow, and you better not forget it.
Agatha, please. How many times do I have to tell you I can't possibly take you tomorrow? Please reschedule. Literally any other day is fine. I promise I'll make time. I'll take you there and drive you home, and you can spend as long as you like inside the mall.
Do not talk back to me, young lady. Back in my day, you would have gotten the belt for this kind of cheek. Your lack of education is showing. I knew allowing my son to marry a moron was a bad idea. It's pointless talking to you. You listen, young lady, and you listen good. If you don't come and pick me up tomorrow afternoon, I'll never acknowledge you as my son's wife for as long as I live. Hi, Mia, darling. How are you? Listen to this. My friend ordered me some new supplements this week. They're supposed to re-energize your chakras and fill you with positive energy. But it turns out they're a little more expensive than I first thought. At this rate, I'm going to struggle to get by this month.
I see. Did you take all the supplements yet?
No, only a few.
So why not file for a return? Normally, there's a short window where if you're not satisfied with the product, you can send it back, right? Just say you're disappointed with them and you should get your money back.
Excuse me? What on earth are you talking about? Are you seriously suggesting I returned something I already paid for?
Yes. You just said yourself you can't afford them. I don't see how you've got any other choice.
How dare you! Are you trying to embarrass me? I just told you my friend ordered me them from the internet. There's no way I can send them back. She might think I'm poor.
Well, what are you gonna do then?
I'm not going to do anything. My son is going to send me some money. See to it that I get $600 ASAP.
$600? Are you kidding me? I've never heard of a supplement that expensive. What did you say they were for again?
They're for energizing my chakras and unlocking the powers of my subconscious mind. It says on the packet that they'll do wonders for my health and happiness, so I need them. My friend said they're only for highly intelligent, special people.
Agatha, please don't take this the wrong way, but do you think there's any chance you might have been scammed? This all seems a little suspicious to me.
Scammed? Give me a break. As if someone as clever as me would fall for something like that. Besides, she's been buying me things on the internet for years now. Why would she start playing dirty tricks like that on me all of a sudden? As usual, it seems like there's nothing to be gained from speaking to you. Where's my son? Is he home yet?
No, it seems like things have been piling up at work lately. He's been doing more overtime than usual.
Work? Please. If you ask me, the reason he's so busy lately is because he's married to you. I don't think it's a coincidence that he seems so much more stressed ever since you two tied the knot. He hardly even answers my calls anymore. If I'm lucky, he'll respond to my messages once a fortnight.
Like I said, he's busy. He has a lot on his plate right now. You shouldn't take it personally.
Me taking anything from my boy personally? Don't be ridiculous. He loves his mother more than anything. I know full well how demanding his job can be. You don't make $140K a year by lazing around doing nothing. He's bound to be busy on an enormous salary like that. Not that I'd expect someone like you to understand what that means.
Huh? $140,000 a year? My husband makes $140,000 a year?
That's right, I know. I saw his tax returns while I was rummaging through your filing cabinets when I stopped over at your house last year. Oh, my heart filled with pride the moment I saw them. You have no idea how good it felt to find out my son is one of life's winners.
Wait, you rummaged through our... wait, I get it now.
Which is why it should be no problem for him to lend his mother a measly $600. Well, what do you say? Will you see to it what he does?
I wonder, am I right thinking this wouldn't be the first time you've borrowed money from him?
No, it wouldn't. Why?
If you pile enough specks of dust on top of each other, eventually you'll have a mountain. We can't just go handing out hundreds of dollars every time you decide you want to buy something.
What am I supposed to do? It's not like I can help it. I need money to live on, after all.
In that case, get a job.
You better be joking. Do you have any idea how hard I worked to raise that boy all on my own? I was a single mother. I could never work because I had him to think of. And now you're telling me get a job after all this time, like it's just that simple?
Single mother? What the hell? You have a very unusual way of interpreting the past. Your husband passed away after Chris had already grown up and flown the nest. Besides, these days, even people like housewives with massive gaps on their resumes can find work if they look hard enough. The attitudes companies take towards that kind of thing is changing.
You shut your goddamn stupid mouth! Shut up and give me my money now!
No, we can't keep on funding your irresponsible spending like this. You might think Chris lending you money is good for you, but without the means to bring in money of your own, it'll only hurt you in the long run. Needless to say, it's not good for us either. Let's face it, you don't need chakra-boosting supplements to get by, do you? And even if you did, they sure as hell wouldn't be important enough to justify going into debt for.
How dare you speak to me like that, you impertinent little brat! If you're looking for a fight, you're going the right way about it. So, shall I take this as you refusing to send me my own son's money? Is that what you're doing? I know your game, woman. You're trying to hog it all to yourself, aren't you, you shameless gold digger?
I'm so not a gold digger.
In that case, prove it. I want $1,500.
Huh? What? You want how much?
I want $1,500 every month. This is non-negotiable, and if you value your position in this family, you'll need to see it that I get it.
What are you talking about? Why did the numbers shoot up all of a sudden?
I've been holding off until now. You see, I'm so kind and thoughtful. I didn't want to rock the boat or cause any trouble. But I wish I'd just said this from the start. It's such a pain in the butt to have to ask for paltry sums of money every time, and I'm sure you'd rather I didn't bother you every 5 minutes asking for top-ups. It makes far more sense for you to send it monthly in one lump sum. Great, it's decided. Send me $1,500 a month. I'll be phoning my son to let him know about our new arrangement soon.
Please stop this. Impossible is impossible, and putting pressure on us won't change that.
How many times do I have to tell you not to talk back, you little brat? Did your mother instill no discipline in you? What am I saying? Of course she didn't. You will obey your mother-in-law, you worthless failure of a wife. If you don't see to it that I get my money, I'll make sure my son divorces you. One word from me is all it would take, so I suggest you think very carefully about how you proceed from here. Mia, I checked my bank account today again, but the money still hasn't gone in. Explain yourself.
That's right, because we didn't send it.
Ugh, why you're still saying that? You think you're so clever, don't you? My son makes $140K a year. The least you could do is see to it that I have enough money to get by. I bet this is your doing, isn't it? You've probably been whispering all sorts of nasty things about me in his ear. You floundering frustration of a wife. Divorce my son and get out of our lives forever.
You keep harping on about your son's salary, but I'm the one who makes $140,000 a year?
Huh?
Huh? Which part don't you get? I said I'm the one who makes $140,000 a year. Me. The tax returns you found while you were rummaging through our filing cabinets without permission were mine.
What are you talking about? I've never heard such a load of nonsense in my life. There's no way a loser who dropped out of high school, whose highest professional achievement is becoming a housewife, could ever make that much money. Yep, this is all bluster. I know it. My son might be a salary man, but even still he has to file tax returns if he makes $140K a year.
I'm the one making all that money, and that's God's honest truth. Did you actually check the name on the tax returns, or did you get too excited by the fact you were doing something you shouldn't have been to notice?
I don't think I did. But they were obviously my son's.
Wrong. I'm the breadwinner in this family. Chris doesn't have a job.
Huh? What? Wait, what? My son is unemployed? Don't tell lies. If my son's unemployed, how is there a roof over your heads? How is there food on the table? How are the utilities paid?
Like I just told you, because I'm the breadwinner.
Nonsense! I don't believe it. My son is outstanding. He's been a high achiever his whole life and works for a major global company. Why would he take that so lightly by quitting and throwing it all away?
It certainly wasn't a decision he took lightly. Sure, he made a lot of money, but his working conditions were so awful it wasn't worth it.
What are you saying? He quit his job because it was difficult?
He quit because he had a nervous breakdown. He was admitted to the hospital for a few weeks later last year, and he's been visiting for weekly checkups ever since.
A nervous breakdown? Ridiculous! You're lying. My son is no pansy. He's stronger than that. Besides, every time I come over, he comes home in his suit. How do you explain that if he's not working? Ha! Gotcha!
He wears the suit to stop you finding out he quit.
What? Why would he go out of his way to trick me like that? What's wrong with you? If anyone needs admitting to a mental hospital, it's you. Why would you lie like this? As if my son would quit his job without even telling me, his beloved mother first.
It's precisely because of your god-awful attitude towards practically everything that he didn't feel comfortable speaking to you about it.
My god-awful attitude? Ugh! Here we go again! Shut up! Just shut up! Just because you don't want to send me $1,500 a month, money which is rightfully mine because I gave birth to him, by the way, doesn't justify making up vicious lies. You probably think that just because my son is so kind and caring, you can walk all over him like your own personal doormat, don't you? I know your game. You're trying to control him. Well, I won't let you get away with it. You two will be getting a divorce. Now, if you have a brain in that head of yours, I suggest you get your things together and leave before I'm forced to come and eject you from the premises by force. Mia, you two didn't move house, did you?
Oh no, you didn't go to our old house by any chance, did you?
Your old house? I knew it! Where are you right now?
Not telling you.
I phoned my son's company too. It was just as you said. He doesn't work there anymore. He resigned last year.
Great, so I take it you understand now. Who it is that's supporting this family?
It really has been you all along, hasn't it? I was convinced it was my son.
That's right, it's me and it's always been.
I'm so sorry. I was convinced it was Chris. I had no reason to believe otherwise, so surely you can hardly blame me. I mean, you were a stay-at-home housewife and you two got married, weren't you?
I might have stepped down from my position at the insurance company, but I carried on running my own business as usual. I was only working part-time hours to begin with, because I was still adapting to newly married life and had a lot to do around the house. But I realized I might have to start bringing in more money when Chris's mental health took a turn for the worse towards the end of last year. I doubled my hours, and that's when the big money started coming in. I had no idea things would go as well as they did, and I can't tell you what a relief it was.
I see. I had no idea you were so capable and talented, Mia. It looks like I had the wrong idea about you. I see you in a different light now that I know all this. I hereby officially recognize you as my son's wife and my daughter-in-law.
Oh, you do?
Now, if we can just move back onto the topic of my monthly allowance. $1,500 a month shouldn't be a problem, what with you making so much money, should it? Go on, help an old dear out. I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful relationship between me and you, sweetie. I've always seen potential in you, I just didn't want to say it, lest you get complacent. I promise to treat you like my own daughter from now on.
Nah, I'm good, thanks. We'd prefer it if you forgot about us.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means exactly what it sounds like. Please think of me and your son as no longer existing.
What? Why are you being like this? But you're my beloved daughter-in-law, my Mia. Besides, I finally acknowledged you as part of this family. Isn't that what you wanted all this time?
The only reason you acknowledge me is because you found out I make $140,000 a year? You'd still be treating me like dirt if you didn't know. You'd be comical if you weren't such a disgrace.
No, dear, you've got this all wrong. It's not like that at all. It's not about the money at all. How could I not acknowledge you when you're so clever, capable, and talented? How could I not acknowledge you when you're such an important member of this family? When you were there for my son when he needed you most? When you're continuing to support him even now?
Well, in that case, thanks. I accept your expression of goodwill, but that doesn't change the fact that me and my husband want nothing more to do with you for long as we live. It's gonna take more than an apology to make up for the years of suffering you put Chris through, for the way you bullied and belittled me ever since me and him got married.
What's that supposed to mean? I put Chris through years of suffering? I don't follow. And I bullied you? Don't be so dramatic. I never did any such thing.
You know, the scariest thing is that you genuinely believe that. Do you think Chris had a nervous breakdown due to work alone? He's strong, and he's certainly not a pansy as you put it. The way you treated him had a huge part to play too.
Me?
Let's face it, you've always been obsessed with the idea of him becoming a high achiever, haven't you? If he didn't get the highest grade, he wasn't good enough. If he didn't get into the best company, he wasn't good enough. He's been living under the way of your unattainable standards since the day he was born. There's only so much pressure one human being can take. What's worse, when he quit his job, he thought he'd finally be able to rest, recuperate, and take a break from all the stress. But no, he still had you nagging and complaining at him, begging for money like a woman possessed at every opportunity. Why do you think he doesn't answer your calls now? No matter how much he worked, no matter how much overtime he put in, it was never enough. He was barely ever able to spend any of his own salary on himself because it all went to you. When he finally refused because he knew that if he continued, we wouldn't be able to make ends meet, far from understanding and accepting it, you came over in floods of tears and stole them from us, while we weren't looking.
I was sure my son was the one bringing in the money. He worked for a major company, and I didn't see any harm in borrowing a little here and there.
A little here and there? Don't make me laugh. And major company or not, everyone knows the regular cubicle workers don't make much money. Besides, anybody, no matter how rich, would soon run out of money if they were lending thousands to their pestering mother every 5 seconds. Do you think money grows on trees?
But you're different, right, Mia? You make $140K a year. You're practically part of the 1%. I'm your mother-in-law, your family, and I'm asking you to help me out here.
I have no intention of giving someone who treats my husband like their own personal ATM and emotional punch bag a cent of my money. You throw the most hysterical of tantrums the moment you don't get your own way. You kick, scream, and shout. You hurl all kinds of abuse at me and Chris. How can I think of someone who only pretends to care about us as long as we're giving her money as my mother-in-law?
I do not hurl abuse at either of you. You're exaggerating. I was merely giving my opinion.
Your opinion? No. You were trying to guilt us into giving you money. You never listen to a word Chris says. Remember how the moments you couldn't get through his cell phone, you'd charge into his office demanding to speak to him, embarrassing the hell out of him in front of his coworkers? How can he think of someone who'll stop at nothing to get her own way with no regard for feelings as his mother?
Fine, I accept it. My behavior was less than desirable. I'm sorry. I won't do anything like that ever again, I promise.
Really? Actually, forget it. I guess it doesn't matter if you're sincere or not. Even if you wanted to try pulling that crap on us again, we're gonna make sure you're not able to.
Please don't say things like that, Mia. Surely we can talk this through without doing anything drastic. Please just send me the money. I'm not joking when I say I don't have enough to get by.
Really? Sucks to be you. You should really be mad at yourself for blowing your husband's entire inheritance on worthless crap right now.
At this rate, I'm not even going to be able to afford this month's gas bill. If you don't help me, there will be no food on the table and the lights will go out. Please, Mia, I need you. I won't be able to get by much longer without your help.
Not my problem. We're cutting you out of our lives forever.
No, don't! I'm so sorry. I'll never do anything to cause you nuisance ever again. I'll be more thoughtful. I can do it, I swear. Just give me a chance. I'll never annoy or upset you again for as long as I live.
In that case, you won't keep asking me for a monthly allowance because it's an annoying nuisance.
That's different. Please, can you just cover me for this month? I won't ask again after that, please. I promise. I swear on my life. I'll never ask you for another cent.
For now, it's just this month. Next month, it'll be just next month. It never ends. How do I know, you ask? Because that's exactly what you've been doing to Chris the whole time. That's why we're cutting you out of our lives. Your promises mean nothing.
I'm begging you. Mia, please. I'm so sorry.
No. Contrary to what you thought, I won't let you walk all over me like Chris did. You've said it countless times yourself, did you? That there's no point in talking to someone like me. Why would you bother wasting your time trying? The less you expect of me, the better. I'm a worthless failure of a wife after all. After that, apparently my mother-in-law gathered together all the things from her house she didn't need, including all the ornaments and mementos her husband had left behind, and all the things she'd bought with the money she stole from Chris. She sold them in a desperate bid to scrape together the money for the month's utilities. Somehow or other, she actually managed to get by, and delayed the lights going off by another month. But having run out of things to sell, and having exactly zero income of her own, the prospects of her performing another miracle next month are slim. I blocked her on my husband's phone so she couldn't do any more damage to his mental health than she already had. She still begs me for money from time to time, but I just ignore her. It's encouraging to see she's at least managing to keep up with the payments on her phone contract. The only reason I didn't block her myself is because I was curious to see how things went for her after we cut her out of our lives. But the messages are getting a little boring now, and I'll probably end up blocking her after another month or two. The friend, who's used to sell her ridiculously overpriced supplements, pulled a conveniently timed vanishing act on Agatha after realizing she had no money left. She really was a sitting duck, bad with money and easily deceived, a scammer's wet dream. I guess it's just like they say, a fool and their money are easily parted. I have no idea what the future holds for my mother-in-law, but one thing's for sure, I don't have an ounce of sympathy for her. Maybe it's petty, but I want her to suffer and experience as much pain as she put me and my husband through. The improvement in his mental health was enormous. When he was finally freed of his mother, who it turned out was the main source of his stress all along. He's starting to look more and more like his old self every day, and I'm super thrilled about that. As well as needing to visit the hospital less and less these days, he's also gradually beginning to help me with my online business. It's great to see some structure returning to his life. That said, I understand he's been through a lot. I don't expect anything unreasonable of him. He's important to me, and I'll continue supporting him for as long as he needs me to. I want him to be happy, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. One thing's for certain, I'll be there for him through thick and thin, no matter what.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.